Hello, my wonderful little dabbers. We are gonna do a short little stream here. Yeah, I'm not even set up. Don't got my hat on. Don't got none of that shit. But we're just gonna do it real quick and easy. I'm gonna take a dab with y'all, so that way we can and then I'm gonna hop right into this shit. We're doing our weekly reset. We're checking if our auction sold. We're doing all sorts of fun shit. First, we're taking a dab, though. Shit. A little too hot. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. Alright, let's do this. Yay. Some of my shit sold. Jesus Christ. That hit fucked me up. Come on, Bo. Boo. That sucks. That was weak shit. Was hoping for something good. Got a whole lot of nothing.
Let us hear your story.
My duty is to help others. Be careful not to break anything.
the shield of the Drakthir. The Obsidian Warders stand proud.
The Obsidian Warders stand proud.
Greetings, stranger. I'll pass your story along.
Farewell. Stay sharp.
Aspect's grace shine down on you.
Damn it, I forgot to finish exploring the vault last week. It's okay. I bet they cycle.
Save this bracket! Keep taking pictures!
If you're looking for adventure, I'm your man.
Wait till you hear what I found. Let's meet up later, okay?
I will do my duty. Go carefully.
Try to get to Gallicrod or whatever the fuck his name is. I keep wanting to call him Gallicrond, even though I know that's not his name. Gallicad. Holy shit! I just got him out! I just got him out! I just got him out! Cool! Let's mount it up! Let's check it out! That's fucking sweet! Wee! 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 Yeah, boy! New mount! Alright, I gotta keep up. They're gonna kill all this shit without me. Woohoo! A key! Looks like we're headed up to Dugzugla, whatever the fuck his name is. I missed that one. It's okay. Win some, you lose some.
Those wounded Drakthir will appreciate your help, and we desperately need reinforcements.
We're just gathering shit up. What up, son? You need speech chat. LOL. Fuck, yes I do, dude. I'm sorry. I didn't expect chat so quickly. What are you up to, my dude? Are you in disco? I can hop in if you are.
Done. That should slow them down. Excellent work.
Oh shit. Who's here? Oh, no one. There's a chest. How the fuck do I get to that chest, though? Bubble. That's how we do it as pallies. Shit. And fucking Acromantilax is up. Give me 1 second. I think I need to launch it still. I don't think I have it up at the moment. Oh, I do totally have it up. Never mind. knew it was smart to just head into this when I did. Well, I'll have you explain what you mean by that in Discord, because I'm not sure what you mean. But I mean, we'll find out. I'm gonna open it right now. Sorry, I just got caught up in that old. Boom! There we are. What's up, my good sir? What up? What up? How's your night going? Morning, I guess.
Afternoon.
Yeah. Well, it's still the AM here technically, but.
Oh yeah, you West Coast. West Coast.
West Coast, the best coast.
You're what, like 10 or 11 o'clock or some shit?
Yeah, we just hit 11 a.m.
Yeah.
I just had.
In LA, same time zone.
Yeah, my brother is a postmaster of one of the small towns out here, and he needed a ride. I just got home from picking him up because he had to deliver an extra mail vehicle to the office today, so he needed. He had to, you know what I mean? I had to go pick him up so he could get his car.
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. Like, a company should provide that for someone to fully do their job. You know what I mean? Well, no, never mind.
Well, it's how how it
mean,
works. It's weird, actually. I didn't know this. I've learned so much shit about the mail with him being like a postmaster and shit. But so
postmaster is a mailman, right?
A postmaster runs a post office.
Oh, okay. So they're like not actually out in trucks.
He used to be a straight up mailman on the street, walking the beat, delivering packages, doing all that, and he still does that as a postmaster. But he's technically not supposed to. It's just because he's in such a small community, and his building is understaffed. He's picking up the slack. He's like, I'm a good boss. I'm not gonna make my people work on godly hours. I'll pick up the slack. You know. So, but
I mean, that's what he that's his job. He has to pick up slack.
Well, I mean, not a lot of not a lot of people. Like, I mean, there's postmasters who just make more. Well, that's what he's working on doing. But he can't actually. He hires. But anyone he hires has to get the clearance from the main office in Portland.
Oh yeah, what, drug screening clearance and all that stuff.
Yeah, and then they have to go through training out there and all that stuff. I mean, it's like might as well be federal, even though it's not technically federal anymore. You know what I mean?
I mean, what do you mean?
In I think it was 1980, the United States Post Office made themselves no longer federal part of the federal government. They're separate. They're a federal essentially it's like, fuck. I gotta Google it again because I forgot how it works.
Yeah, I'm about to because like
Google it because
my understanding when the government went on, the government went on.
So they're a part of the government, but they're an independent company. They're no longer like funded. They have to make their own money.
They're subsidized by the government, though.
No, that's what it used to be.
Here.
So it's
federal.
Yeah, because I was under the impression he was technically a federal officer, but he's like, no, not anymore. If it was like back in the day, I would be considered, but yeah, I learned some new shit that I didn't know about that. That's what I'm saying. I learned so much shit that I didn't know about the post office because of him. But anyways, like a city route.
Up until right now, I've always thought that they were
for real. Dude, fucking spent my whole
Dude,
I mean, when we were kids,
subsidized in some way,
when we were
shape,
kids,
or form, though.
No, they have to take like 80% of their profits and like put it towards their retirement or some shit. It's crazy.
It was 1792 became the cabinet department in 1872. In 1971,
yeah, it was in the 70s.
Replaced the department with the United States Postal Service, an independent entity within the executive branch.
But it's still an independent entity. Like it's within the branch.
True.
Like so it answers to the government.
Subsidized.
It answers to the government, but it has to make, like Chago said, like the post office has to make its own money. Like it can get bailed out like any other company or bank, but it has to be the one making its money to pay its employees. Like the employees aren't federally paid employees. They're paid by the profits from the post office.
Post service is generally self-funded. This means that no tax dollars are used to keep the lights
Exactly.
on, as its many facilities across the country. The postal service instead relies on revenue it generates from the sales of stamps, products, and services to fund its operations.
Yeah, that's crazy, huh?
My mind is blown.
Yeah, I didn't know that shit either, dude. I always thought my tax dollars paid for the post office and it was just part of the government. But no, it is an independent business that the government is technically in charge of. It's like a government-ran business, but it is a business, and the government does not
like
use our
Apple.
taxes for it. Yeah, or fucking Amazon, you know, whatever.
Or Amazon, yeah.
But
Oh, SpaceX. Oh, okay.
But yeah, pretty much that's what I was saying. And the other thing is that if you're a city route, like a route that delivers within the city, you do get a post office vehicle. They're called LVs. I don't remember what or LLVs, I mean. And I don't remember entirely what that stands for, but it's like the post office trucks that you see in the city all the time. But if you're a rural
the
route,
regular one.
like if you're a rural route, like if you're like outside
they
a
drive
city,
regular cars, right? I've seen them around here just driving like regular cars.
yeah, you have to provide your own
Probably
vehicle
mine
if
do
you're a
that.
rural delivery driver. There's two different unions. One union is for city carriers, and the other union is for rural drivers, because the two jobs are so different. Because you don't get out of your car really if you're a rural carrier. You just drive up
Oh,
to.
you're driving miles.
So
to
the
get,
contract is
each
different, and you will drive a lot more, and so they require you to provide your own vehicle, but they also pay you 59 cents a mile for every mile you drive in that vehicle on top of your wage, and they also give you yearly vehicle maintenance bonuses and shit. That's like all in the contracts for them. You know what I mean?
And they get that all through stamps.
Yeah. And mailing
selling
package. Well, dude, think about
boxes.
how much. Think about how much it costs to mail a package. Like 20 fucking bucks. They make a lot of money off mailing shit.
Yeah, if you think about it, yeah.
And
The weight of it.
yeah. It's just one of those things. And so so even though my brother is technically in charge of a post office that is in the city, it's a really small city. So
Look at this. I'm showing another recent here. April 13th, 2021. The Postal Service acknowledged that on April 2nd that it accepted an $8.64 billion of taxpayers' funds to offset some of its losses during the COVID.
So what happened with that is
They get subsidized, dude. I'm telling you. stay
everybody
afloat.
got but
Not
I'm saying
everyone.
you didn't have to be a government-ran business to get
only
those
things
business
like
loans.
Walmart, only things that government subsidizes.
One of my
will
buddies
get.
who runs a small shop got a subsidy from COVID.
Probably not. Yeah, but probably
'cause he
not
had to-
nearly as much as what other bigger companies.
It was
got,
enough to
you know
keep
what I mean?
his business afloat when he couldn't have people there, essentially.
Yeah, so it's all like percentage-wise in a way.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, exactly. The post office had a big issue because when COVID hit,
$8.64 billion, though, man.
what happened?
That's how big that company is.
That's
the
yeah,
Postal
it's
Service.
huge. It's across the whole nation. Every town has a post office. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But,
That's a lot of money, though. You know what I mean?
And I'm
Now, all that gets
wondering
put
if
back
all they
in,
did was
too.
fund retirement, because part of Obamacare that happened.
Exactly.
This is something else
That's
I
what I'm
learned.
about to get to.
I was gonna say, because part of Obamacare that happened, my brother was telling me about this. The post office is required to use 80% of its profits to pre-fund retirement for its employees, to guarantee retirement. They're supposed to guaranteed retirement like 50 years out, because it's no longer government guaranteed, you know. And they don't want these people who are essentially working government jobs but not working government jobs to not have the guaranteed benefits. So the post office on the books looked like it was failing, because
What the fuck? There's a stock for the fucking U.S. Postal Service.
but what I was saying is
650,
because
7C.
for during COVID, everyone was stuck in home, so everyone was ordering everything through packages, and
That's how it's gonna be anyways. That's how it should be.
well, I mean, it really was. People were ordering groceries. People were ordering
Yep.
every single thing through online.
I did that job for a little bit, helping people. I was working for Kroger, work from home, and people were call. It was the whole grocery delivery thing, and they
Yeah.
were like, they would call us about things they were missing about, from their order and shit like that, and it's just it was a shit. They call it a ramp up, because it was a whole new thing that they were doing.
Yeah, and the post office is so historically the post office in the summertime is pretty slow, but in the wintertime gets way busier. And then Christmas time is the busiest time for the post office. They're slammed all Christmas time. Essentially, what I was hearing is it was like the worst Christmas ever for 2 years straight, because everyone was ordering Amazon like crazy from their homes, and everyone had disposable income because everyone was getting the stimulus checks and shit. So everyone was blowing that shit on online shopping, and it just created a flood of work for the post office, and they did not have enough people to do it. And that, like, I don't know if you remember, but for a while there during the pandemic, shipping times were like 2 to 3 weeks, and that was why, is because everything was backlogged, and they had to hire a fucking army of people to get it unbacklogged, and it was hard to hire because it was the pandemic. And like also things were happening where like entire offices had to get shut down for 2 weeks because of COVID protocols, because one postman would get sick and spread it to the whole office, you know. But and so
I'm not wearing a mask.
yeah, shit just went fucking crazy for the post office during that, and it's starting to mellow out and slow down. But my
All right,
brother,
so I'm not sure if you're in the stocks or not, but there is the stock I've been looking at. It's Jupiter Wellness, JUPW.
I have a Robinhood account, but I don't have like shit for money in
Not
it.
sure.
Like
I'm
a
not
hundred
sure
or so
about
bucks,
that.
maybe a couple $100.
Dude, if you had that, look at this stock, Jupiter Wellness, dude. This stock is expected to rise maybe 400%, man. Like
Let's see.
400 plus %. I'm looking at the chart, and I can see how they get their figures, you know. They just reported very good the report. My brain just fucking farted. Quarterly reports and shit. Oh yeah, dude, I'm looking it up also. There's other places. This 41-cent stock may soar to 371%, and here's why. And then they want you to go look at their shit. You know what I mean? Like, go dive deeper and then go pay for their ads that get spammed to you while you read their articles. But yeah, dude, this one here.
Well, I only had.
40 something cents. If you have hundreds in Robinhood already, and were they from your own?
No, I have
input
I
money,
have
or were they-
crypto in Robinhood,
Okay, but you could still sell the crypto.
and I actually don't have.
put it in your portfolio.
Last time I looked, I had about 100, but this crypto's not fucking doing good. I haven't looked in a while.
No. Crypto is now going to be a long-term investment.
Oh, yeah,
you're
so
gonna see
I'm
changes.
I'm
You're not
sitting
gonna be able to
on.
get monthly returns.
I'm sitting
unless
on-
you do day trading.
Well, no, I don't. I'm just sitting and camping on a fuck ton of XRP
Yeah,
that I got when it
yeah.
was super cheap, hoping that something
Dude,
happens with that.
Crypto right now, if you want to make money daily, you have to study the damn chart, down to
Oh,
the T.
I'm not fucking smart
okay?
enough to do that, dude. I have
know,
such
neither am I. I
ADD
can't
and
do that
focus
much.
issues. Like, I mean, I can memorize numbers and do all that shit, but like, I need to have an interest in it. And
I have like a rough idea. Like, I have an eyeball for it. I can't do the math in my head, but I can look at a chart and see a trend. But I can't tell you the math behind it. And I have stock buddies and everything who have like really invested in stocks, and they kind of look at my when I told them about Dogecoin way back in the day. He said he bought some, and he capitalized on it like big time, like I think hundreds of thousands.
damn,
Tell me exactly.
I wish I could have done that. I
big.
got like, you know, a few thousand out of Doge, but I didn't buy in time. I bought in when it was still a few cents.
When
then
they
sold out
when
when
they
it was-
told it, yeah, exactly. When Elon Musk tweeted about it, that's when it hit that cent. When it went up from the fractions of a cent, dude. Doge was
Yeah.
like 0.00007th of a cent. you
Yeah, if
know?
I could have got on that train super early, that would have been nice.
Yeah, but I knew about it before. I knew that it was a joke currency. You know what I mean? It was like a little You know, Bitcoin was out before it, and I knew about Bitcoin, but I was like, well, criminals use that. But I knew of its importance in a way, but I didn't think it was going to blow up big because it was a criminal currency. But little did I know, and I'm coming to learn that most of our government and everything that's operated, they're all criminals too. Like they use loopholes, and I'm not a big Trump supporter, but I'm kind of glad that he threw everyone under the bus. You know what I mean? Saying that, yeah, I did do that little tax break, but guess what? All of you, he named out names, everyone in that room that was doing it as well. It says we're all doing it. I was like, holy shit! I never seen that debate by him. You know what I mean? I used to hate Trump. You know, completely hate him. With the racism and all that kind of shit. But you look deeper.
Dude, I used to fucking love Trump, but that was back in the Apprentice days when he was on the Apprentice. I fucking loved that show. That show was
I never got into that.
hilarious. That show was
fired.
fucking. Yeah,
Oh, wait, we can
you
click-
fired.
No, wait, you're fired. That's
For like the
weird.
dumbest ass reasons and shit too. But I love that show.
Yeah.
That show was fucking great. I watched it every week. But that was my association of Trump, dude. Okay, so
I never watched it.
on your advice, just for shits and giggles, because I hardly ever check my Robinhood, I bought 80
Right.
shares of that Jupiter Rising. That's all I
You
can
just
afford
bought
at the moment. Yep,
Oh
80 shares.
shit!
So
All
let's see
right.
what happens. We'll see what happens.
Right.
But regardless, it's throwaway money to me at this point because at one point
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I put-
I'm gonna
I
use
think I
my-
put like 10 or
I
20
download Robin.
I put 10 or 20 bucks in Robinhood. I bought I bought a bunch of random shit. It went all the way up to 100. I traded it for Doge, and then the Doge went up, and I sold half of it, and then it was down at 100 again, and then now that Doge is worth like 40 bucks. So I was just like, fuck
Wait,
that.
what?
Uh,
Doge is for no. it's
No,
not.
how much I had in that account left.
Oh, okay.
That was last like a while back. I looked; it was worth $100. What I had in there, I was like, I got about $100 in there, I think. And I just looked, I was like, it's not doing good. It's at $40. So like, fuck that shit, get it gone.
Yeah, it's down- yeah, it's
I have
fine.
other
It's kinda small.
crypto
It's small.
accounts that have Doge in it though. Just a little bit for
Yeah.
shits and giggles, because I was like, you know what?
Doge, you have to day trade. Like for example, on October 21st of 22, right? It was down to 5 cents.
Yeah.
You should have bought all you had into it at that point, right? And then it skyrocketed up to 13 cents. Okay, on November 1st.
I think that's when I
Sell.
last looked. Was
Dump sale.
around
Boom.
November when it was doing pretty good. I was like, hey, look at that, it's doing pretty good. And then I didn't really look again, and I just looked again, and it's not doing very good right now. I mean, it's at like
You can
9
set
cents or something.
pre-sales. You know that, right? You can pre-sell your shit at a certain point. Like, say you bought your
Oh,
your
for
shit
sure. I never
at,
even thought about that. But like
like,
literally,
dude,
like it's just was. I honestly forgot I even had it till you mentioned stocks, and I go, well, I have stocks. I have some money in Robinhood. I think I didn't even remember what it was, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, you can put in sell orders on Robinhood, I believe. You can put it in. You can set it for a certain amount. You bought that shit at what? 41 cents, 43 cents, Jupiter. Right?
Yeah, it was
You can
around
set it
40
to
cents,
sell
40 something
at-
cents.
If it hits $1, you know what I mean, to sell.
Oh, but I
A
wouldn't.
dollar would. No. I'm just giving a hypothetical. You know, if you wanted to make 100%, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You set it for $1, you know, and then. But if not, you would set it for like $3 or $4. According to this chart here, I would probably personally set it to. Hold on. JUPW. Let's go back to it. I would personally probably set it at like $5 or $6, maybe $6, $5.50 to $6, each one. And because the highest it hit back in 2021, which is about a year ago, a little bit over a year ago, excuse me, 2 years ago, is is 750. Yeah, like 750, dude, 755. So, if it does go beyond that, then if you think it's going to go beyond $7, you can set for half of your shit to sell at 6 something. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
and then if it does go up, then you have the other half to keep, and then wait for the other half to be sold. Dude, it gets hard, dude. You have to start writing shit down like on a little notebook or something, or a WordPad or a processor sheet, Excel, and start marking what you've allocated in a way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Say you sold half, but it was still inclining. We'll say the other half when it declines. You know what I mean? And study the chart and you kind of have to guess where you think is it going to be a bearish or a bullish trend. You know what I mean? you have to choose one. And
Look well.
whichever way it goes,
Help others when you can.
It's simple. You buy low, you sell high. Buy low, sell high. It's just. But you have to guess where it's gonna go. You know, you can't sit. I've tried, dude. I try sitting on penny stocks. All right. I took all my Robinhood earnings that I did through the free recruit things. You get a free stock, blah 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 blah. I got like a bunch of like $10, $5 ones, whatever, and I had like maybe like 40 or 50 bucks of just free credits from free stocks. You get the free stock, you wait 3 days, and you sell it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or if you're going to be a long-term investor, then you get long-term stocks like Microsoft, Apple, Netflix, and all these companies, whatever, you know. But you don't make much off of those in short periods of time. You know what I mean? So I was thinking about, all right, let's take all these short, penny stocks that are very high loser penny stocks, and see if they're and all the ones I chose on Robinhood just completely went down the fucking shit. And I was just like, well, okay, penny stocks is not a good, because I looked at the charts, dude. You know what I mean? And they had, I think it was just too much of a spread to make it believable. You know what I mean? Like, these people were actually going out. So yeah, they were no investment or no risk investments. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had like it wasn't like if it was my hard-earned money that I put in there, I probably would have second guessed putting it into these very high volatile penny stocks. You can download an app called Penny Stocks or something like that, and you can actually look up the high gainers and the high losers in order. And a lot of them aren't even available on Robinhood. I think the ones that you can actually benefit from are not on Robinhood. You have to go to NADAC, all these other places. But the ones that are destined to fail, they allow access to on Robinhood.
Yeah, they're trying to just get your money.
Robinhood is for the non-fully educated of stocks, and I'm learning this the hard, long way, not the hard way, because it wasn't even my own money. You know what I mean? That's the whole point. They give away those free stocks, knowing that the only way that you can make money from Robinhood is if you invest your own money. You know what I mean? And they advertise all throughout with Robinhood to get gold, to get the gold account, and then get a margin account and all that shit. And it's the way that they can loan you shit. Like how credit cards will send you a credit card thing in the mail. You know what I mean? And send you, oh, you're pre-approved for $300.
Yeah.
All that free stuff is just like you're just helping them advertise for them when they're to get their word out and to get new people on. Oh, I can get a free stock. Like one of my buddies got a $200 stock. He was stoked. I was like, man. I was the one like pushing these codes out. You know what I mean? And then a friend of mine tells me that his buddy got they were all like, what the fuck? I was just like, God. Yeah, dude, I would have fun with that too. I just don't want to invest my own money into it.
No, that makes sense.
I just like I like following along with it. There's this one game I was playing before, but then it was like 2 phones. The phone broke and never reinstalled it. But it was like a fake game that uses the real money, the real stock market. Like the actual real stock market, you know, all the real charts, real things, and you can play around with play money. You know what I mean? And it's more fun for a long-term game. You know what I mean? Unless you're gonna really, because dude, you have to really be a fucking math genius to find the penny stocks, dude. And not just math genius, but an economical, you know, what do they call them? People that know the economy and shit. You got to know that to the T. You know, when you research the company and look into the company, you got to know what to look for. You know, you got to know exactly what to look for. And damn, dude, I don't know any of that shit. I look for the reports and shit. The you know, the newbie type of shit. You know what I mean? That's what everyone would. Even Robinhood provides you the quarterly earning reports and shit, and what was expected and what was actually.
So
you know,
you said something earlier. This is completely off topic, but I've been thinking about. I wasn't sure what you meant by it. You were saying that WoW has little outreach for Twitch. What do you mean by that?
but all right. By me playing WoW, not a lot of people hop in.
Gotcha. Okay. See, I wasn't sure.
They don't come in like the only people that come in when I'm playing WoW are people that I've known from other games that came into my game while playing that game, like League of Legends and shit like that. You know, there's no real appropriate time to post your Twitch information on WoW. You know what I mean? Yeah, you can join a dungeon. I guess they'll be the same.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. It's harder to get WoW players to join your Twitch than it is to get other. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, what does he mean by that? Like, I'm not.
Twitch does not do the advertising. Don't think that one day that your stream is going to be on that front, you know, the top bar front page thing.
Oh yeah, I don't.
Never. That will never happen ever. There's actually some streamers out there who think that. These low-end streamers that think that.
No, you know what my goal is? My goal.
Dude, there's no algorithm.
I have a pretty lofty goal. Don't get me wrong; it's a pretty big goal. But my goal is that I will make affiliate, and I'll get enough ad revenue that it will pay the $15 a month for my Warcraft.
Hey, dude.
And from there, if I get that, I'll form a new goal. But that's my current goal.
My
and
ad revenue right now, I can pull up my Twitch stats. It's like $2 or $3 a month or whatever, but I can pull up the exact stats. Hello.
Also, I mean, like, I got other things where I try to bring viewers in, but I haven't really been doing them very good. You know what I mean? I need to step it up. I have a YouTube channel, but
self-promote.
I have a YouTube channel, but I don't really fucking do shit with it.
YouTube doesn't have unless you're making shorts. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just making a bunch of shorts. Shorts has an algorithm, okay, to where they will
and
post
then also my TikTok is just my TikTok is just an ad to or a link to my Twitch.
Hey,
more
Say
or less.
goodbye to TikTok.
Huh?
Say goodbye to TikTok.
Oh, I know. It's probably, but I really hope that fucking bill doesn't pass. It's pretty fucking criminal what they got in there.
Let me know if you
Yeah,
find
in
anything
a way,
neat.
but this is the warming of the water. You ever heard of the story of the frog in the boiling water?
Yeah,
If you
dude,
put a
but I
frog
mean,
in
this is
the
also
water-
they do that, and it's gonna. I mean,
It's World War III in the making, dude. Already.
It's bread
right
and
now.
circuses,
Be
dude.
prepared.
You ever keep up with world news?
Yeah,
You know what China's
with
doing over
what's
there?
going on with China, making peace in the Middle East, and France revolting like motherfuckers right now, and all sorts of shit going on. World's crazy, but you won't see no information about none of that on if you're like searching on Instagram or Facebook or any of that. You won't find that information.
How fare you?
Well, it depends. Depends on what group that you're in. But Facebook has gotten strict on what you post. They even gave you a warning. I said, I'm in the Brevard Idiot Drivers in my county here, where people post pictures of idiot drivers that they come across, and there was this person driving 55 miles per hour on 95 in the left lane,
There's
according to the
nothing
poster.
I can't scale.
And I said, burn him at the stake. And I had a gif of a witch being burned, you know, those
Keep it
old
cool,
witch
eh?
hunts. And I got warned for that, dude.
That's fucking silly.
I posted it anyway, but but I got warned, you know, that my account could be restricted or suspended or some shit like that. And I'm like,
Fucking
what?
silly.
I'm like, how fucking like sensitive do you have to fucking be? Maybe it just took the text, you know, and not. I don't know. I really hope AI does implement itself into moderations. You know what I mean? Because it'll be able to tell versus these basic computing moderation things. You need quantum computing to do that. You know what I mean? Think on a human level. Dude, this ChatGPT shit's amazing.
Oh, it's been hilarious watching all the fucking crazy shit it's been doing. My
Well,
friends have been
I've
using the
fucking
shit
around
out
with
of it to
myself.
like, yeah, I
Hell
was gonna-
yeah. Hell yeah, it blows my mind, dude.
it's impressive.
But it's eerily, scarily impressive.
Yeah, it's like some Skynet shit.
Dude, it's more.
It's already
dude,
figuring
this
out how
reminds
to
me-
like get its way out of things. You know what I'm saying? Like,
and it's gonna find its way to get into things, like or into device. All right, you ever read the book, the Jericho event? I'm not sure if you're a book reader or not, but there's a now I'm trying to think if that was even the name, the Jericho event. It's like down this to the T. It's like a not post-apocalyptic, but pre-post-apocalyptic, you know, story about this. He finds out it's a computer program talking to him or whatever, eventually, but helping him stop. He's like some investigator helping him stop this localized government that's kind of like seems like they were very in control. It was like a police state, and they had this satellite that was able to it had a laser, and it could go over. It would be able to go over any. It would go through its orbit around Earth. Right when it passes a certain orbit, it can conduct its devastation on certain targets and shit like
Damn.
that. And this AI they never mention it was AI. It just mentioned that it's been developed and it was a complex language model and all this shit, dude. It's AI, but it never used that as the terminology in the book, you know. That it was artificial intelligence, you know. It never used that. It was a compilation of learnings and developments. And what was her name? Alex or something like that. It wasn't Alex because I'm thinking of Alexa now. But shit. It's a really good book, dude. Maybe it wasn't that. Shit, I can't even think of the name of the book. Oh my god. Jericho.
well, that sucks.
Let's see. Oh, what was I doing before? I was looking at my revenue. They make it so hard to find in here. Analytics, there it is. Earnings. Alright, so what just ended here on April 4th. March 6th to April 4th was $3.06.
Hey, that's pretty sweet though. Still,
The month before that was $5.32. That was from February 4th to March 5th. The month before that, January 5th to February 3rd, was $6.96. December 6th to January 4th is $7.24. November 6th to November 5th, $5.82. See, I see this shit, right? And I know that myself, like, I'm nothing special. You know what I mean? And this is why I get all these mediocre things. You know what I mean? So, what I really, really, really wanted to do was start collabing with other streamers, right? And like have like a podcast or something like that to help generate more revenue in a way, because there'll be more viewers, there's more content or whatever. Because it's not just broadcasting myself, I'm broadcasting other people too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to get to the point where if I establish a nice, decent little not podcast, I want to call it like a vodcast or something like that. You know, a vodcast, like it's visual, it's a virtual podcast in a way.
See, I've wanted to do that too, but I need a space for it. My office isn't big enough for it, and I want to have.
Don't need a space. The space is on OBS, is what I'm saying.
Well, for what you want to do, but for what I want to do, not
like an
entirely.
actual podcast.
Yeah.
You want an actual podcast, and with, you know, like how Joe Rogan has it set up, and then, you know, a big old room with just everything set up for that. Yeah, I know what you mean. They have that already all over. They have a podcast and talk shows section.
I don't need a big area. I could even set it up in a dining room if I had mobile equipment. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't have a room in my house where it's like good enough for it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'd have to like modify my living room or something. But
yeah, but then you have to invite people into your home.
Oh, but the thing is that I have a lot of
them
local
come
friends
through.
here with really interesting jobs. That would be fun to do. So I'll tell you what my idea it was for a while, and so we hadn't really pinned it down, but we were gonna call it the Fifth Joint, and what I was gonna do is have people come on, like, you know, I have friends who are organic farmers. I have friends who are commercial fishermen. I have friends who are loggers. I have friends who work at that fucking cheese factory that makes Tillamook cheese and ice cream. I don't know if you ever heard of Tillamook ice cream, Tillamook cheese.
Yeah, but now you got to ask yourself, will that draw any viewers? How will the viewers be able to interact with?
Check it out. The thing ain't done. So I got people who work in a variety of very interesting jobs that you don't find in the city. That people in the city might be curious about how that kind of shit works. Right. And essentially, my plan would be to get them to smoke 5 joints while we talk about the shit, and see how much they're, you know, kind of get these people who might not even usually be pot smokers so much, get them stoned, and ask them about these crazy fucking intense ass jobs they do.
So like what Joe Rogan does on a very small scale.
Well, I mean, yeah, I mean, in the terms
does
of
that to the T. There's some Twitch streamers too. I can connect you with. They all.
Well, that's the thing is, I've literally thought about if I did this, I could literally just broadcast it on my Twitch. I would record it, and then I would probably broadcast the recording on my Twitch, and to make sure it's known that it's a pre-recorded thing.
My idea is to get just a bunch of like smaller people right now to build up like a virtual podcast where anyone from anywhere, like you, could hop on and get put behind the desk into the environment, and then you know, we just position ourselves to where like we're not facing away from each other. You know, clearly you can just flip. You know, you just set up the environment, and then get a base where people who are viewers, right? They have the opportunity to hop on as well and be put into the environment if they wish to be put on camera and have and then just have there's many ways to make your background green or whatever.
Oh, totally.
And if they have that, if they have those check marks that you can do that, and you're okay with that, all right, let's hop on and bring them on to the vodcast as well.
Well, fuck,
And then they
I've
can
also
have a debate on something, on whatever it is. There's this one dude, Crust, who does. He wants to come on the podcast with me to start an episode to get it going.
I had another fucking
He does
idea
that.
too, which is kind of like what you're talking about. I was thinking about sitting at a desk and having a green screen and making it look like I'm at a news desk.
Yes, exactly.
And then taking
I've
a
already
really
done it.
fat bong rips and then talking about the world news while I'm choking my ass off dabbing.
Exactly.
Or blowing
I
clouds.
already have it all set up, dude. I have it set up. I have scenes for 3 people.
I was thinking about calling it like Hotbox News or something like that, but I hadn't figured it out yet. Like, I have a shit ton of ideas, but they all require some inflammation.
Laboratory is what clearly is what I just started this little Discord here a couple months ago and slowly building it up. These people are down. Everyone who's in this Discord right now, they're down to join onto a podcast or vodcast, should I say? And honestly, if they don't want to remove their background, and they just want to be on camera, I can get a little TV, put it on the desk,
Yeah.
and then just put them into that little TV, so that their background doesn't interfere with the environment that I've laid out, that I've designed. Dude, I had an environment, which is when I had on Streamlabs. I switched over to OBS because you get so many more options on OBS.
Yeah, that's what I use is OBS as well.
Yeah, yes, there's so many more options.
Well, that's what I was like when I was very first learning about it. I learned that Streamlabs is easier, but
it's user friendly. Yes,
it's easier to use, but it's a lot in the long run
Limited.
a lot harder to do what you want to do with it. So you might as well just
very
learn how to
limited.
use the little one that's a little more difficult to use, but way more potential to it.
Facts, 100%. Yep.
And so I just went with that one, and I watched fucking hours of videos trying to fucking learn how to do that shit.
Labs, because they had the monthly thing. It was $20, and you had access to all these overlays. And if you disable or just cancel your subscription, you get to keep the overlay. You get to keep it.
That's
It's
cool.
not like once your sub ends, you have no longer access to any of the overlays. No, whatever you went and saved, you can go ahead and save many of them and save all the files and folders, which I didn't do. I could have, but I just went and picked one that I like. It was some
Damn,
one.
that's fucking sweet. I don't think I should do something like I need to switch my overlays up. That's time. I've had them for too long. I like to keep it fresh looking.
Well,
But-
if you want help with your overlays and you don't want to put any work into it whatsoever, Streamlabs is where
I was using Stream Elements.
That's what I use now, yeah. But
Yeah.
that's the browser thing. It's a browser source that you have to bring. That's totally different. With the Streamlabs, it's all built in to
Yeah,
Streamlabs.
But I don't want to
It's a little
switch away from
option you click on.
OBS. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and
No.
Stream
OBS
Elements.
Is much better. I'm not talking
Stream
about
Elements.
Stream Elements.
You can get like a lot of shit and customize it how you want. Like, and I have a lot of overlays saved on there already that I've customized and fucked with. It's tedious to do because they're.
I just got rid of them and I just built my own. What my stream now is just pretty much like the smoke is a smoke video that I did a YouTube to MP4 conversion for free, and you can turn it into an MP4 file and then put that as an MPV file through your OBS. Voila, you got yourself a any video, dude. You can turn into whatever, You don't need it as like a certain.
Good luck.
I'm not sure how those files are
Go well.
saved, on your OBS. You're getting all that lag and shit. But yeah, dude. And then I just put in like little mods and plugins, like the move transition, to where if I have the same source on a different scene, they slide over, and they fix into position of what that next scene is, which makes it look so fucking cool, dude. And I'm like, oh shit! So I got rid of my transition. Like, you know, you have the little transition thing where you have your little name that pops up, you get the image. I used to have something like that too. But when I switched over to this booth transition, I was like, holy fucking shit, my mind was blown. What else did I add in sideways chat?
See, I've been thinking about adding in, like, this is something I have to take a lot of time to do, though, because I got to re-look up how to do it. But I want to, when I was first doing it, I almost did this, but I didn't. And I've been thinking about it more and more. But I've been thinking about doing slide transitions like Star Wars style.
Dude, you probably find shit like that.
You know what I'm saying, though? Where it's like it slides up, and it's like, it's not actually sliding up. It's like there's like a line on the screen, and as the line slides up, it's like on one side of the line, and it's changing. You know what I'm saying? Like the fades they do in Star Wars. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. I think so, at least. Well, yeah, if it's up to you if you've got time. If you wanna, I can show you the. We can build an environment right now. With all of your ideas, I can just ask you like, hey, all right, what do we want the background to be?
Well, here's the thing:
we'll
is I recently got a Stream Deck, and so I'm getting ready. When I redo everything, I'm gonna be redoing it all with the purpose of making it so I can do everything from my Stream Deck, all my transitions and everything. So I gotta redo a bunch of shit and put in the shortcuts for all that too at the same time. It's gonna be like a day of work essentially, where I'm gonna be sitting here reprogramming things to, you know, get it going good.
Oh yeah, I mean, you wouldn't have to do any of that. You don't have to mess around with any of that. That's the environment. The only thing you have to do is have your camera available. And then remove your background.
These people suck. Are you kidding me, you guys? Are you fucking kidding me right now? You sucking fucking assholes. I very carefully came over here and didn't pull anything, and they just pulled a whole fucking army here while I'm waiting to get out of combat. So I can take this teleport and don't miss the rare spawn, and I'm just getting fucking murked right now because of their dumbass pull.
I'm actually thinking about uninstalling WoW. It's taking up a lot of space, and I don't know. I already canceled this subscription. It's got like 3 weeks left or some shit.
Oh, you fucking assholes got me killed. What a piece of shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna install it.
What, you're uninstalling?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
It's just when I'm in there, man. It was so much different than on the outside. Like I wanted to get in there and play, you know. But then when I started,
you didn't even get to level your new tune and check out any of the new zones.
I've checked out a lot of the new zones, like the exiled isles or whatever, the alternate leveling, and then played around with the invoker.
Dude, you haven't seen the Dragon Isles? You have only seen one of the Realms of Death. You didn't see... What else? You didn't see the Borealis, which was the homeland of Jaina Proudmoore. Essentially the Coltirian, all the Coltirian shit.
Yeah, but see that.
You didn't get to see the Zolvar?
That doesn't like trigger anything in my brain to be like, oh wow, oh
dude,
man.
Dude, the Zolvar is so fucking awesome. It's one of the best cities they've designed in ages. And actually, Borealis is pretty badass too. Also, you didn't even get to try out dragon riding, the new form of flying that they have.
Yeah, I saw it on your stream. I mean, it's like just different things that should be a patch, I believe. not an expansion you pay for.
Dude, this
should be a
whole
patch.
entire thing, like it's like a completely neat. Did you see they brought back talent trees?
I can see that they got hella fucking greedy. They took half of my idea of making money from a micro market, mini market, and making money through that, and then making the game go free to play, and then not give a subscription. Yeah, still charge people the expansion pack, whatever dollar amount, but get rid of the subscription.
So
Okay.
I've always thought Blizzard was greedy. That never changed.
hell
As soon as
fucking
they
greedy,
introduced store mounts, I was like, fuck that. I've never paid money for a store mount. I
Yes,
get the
but
free
look,
mounts that you
people
get from
are, though.
subscriptions, but
You may not, but
that-
other people are.
oh,
doing
hella people do. But
and they're
that, you know
feeding
what?
it into it. It's just, and that's
That-
why
but-
they do it.
But
And they're gonna lose the people that are
They-
against it. It's just how it is.
they have put out. This is one of the best expansions they've put out in a very long time.
That's what every WoW fanatic says though about every expansion.
No,
And of
dude, the
course you would
last-
think that, oh no, excuse me, no, I'm wrong. People said Wrath of the Lich King.
My
Wrath of
favorite
the
expansion
Lich King
before this
too.
was Burning Crusade. A lot of people say Wrath of the Lich King was the best. And there's a small handful of people who really liked Legion. And Legion was fun, but it also introduced a lot of shit that almost broke WoW when they did it for 3 expansions straight. Like, Battle for Azeroth was a rough expansion. They literally canceled a whole patch on it because it did not go well. Same thing with Warlords of Draenor. Same thing with Shadowlands. They literally quit working on Shadowlands to start working on this expansion because they knew they had fucked up and they lost half their community because of the shit they were doing. And this expansion was an attempt to go back to the things that worked and more towards player agency and respecting your time as a player. Like, you know,
that's what Albion Online does for you.
well,
that WoW
what this
doesn't.
is, what I'm saying though is that you didn't get
You
to
can play Albion
experience.
Online for absolutely free.
You didn't get to
$0.
experience any of that though, and you still have 3 weeks.
Experience it like every damn patch I get sucked into and buying. It's like, every time I pull the trigger before making the purchase on a WoW patch or a WoW expansion, excuse me, I get all hyped. Like there's gonna be, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be, it's gonna be better. It's gonna be. I have all the, I think like the social thing aspect is gonna be better. But no, it's still not. If anything, it's either been the same or it's worse. The only thing that has been changed are the things that you fight against. That's the only thing that I've noticed that are the.
Did you try out any of the new PvP brawls?
I've also realized that they make you sit and wait, and the quests are bugged, dude. They're releasing an expansion with a. It's not fluent.
What do you mean? You didn't play any of the quests of the new
No,
expansion?
all right. For example, their quest tracker thing is bugged. All right, I'm telling you right now, their quest tracker.
I have
tracker is
very
bugged.
few issues with it. However, in the Drakthir opening, it did seem like it was not working 100% properly. But
There was other times too. There was I can't pinpoint the times, but I felt it multiple times throughout leveling. When I was playing by myself, I just felt it multiple times. Even when I was with you, I felt it. And I was like,
if you don't like their
fuck?
quest tracker, you can always not uninstall it, but deactivate it. You can do that in the settings, and then install one that you like more from whatever the curse client is these days.
Yeah, but
I've had 0 problems with it, and I do hella questing.
not 0. You said you did have 1. You said you did notice 1 at least.
Well, when we were doing the Drakthir, the one thing you were talking about, I had noticed that when I was doing the Drakthir opening, where like the
Someone
yellow
who's
dot
very loyal as yourself is not
would
going to see
fade.
stuff like as much. You know what I mean? You're not going to be as critical to something that you're very passionate about.
Oh, I'm super critical of it. I talk a lot of shit about Warcraft, but what I'm
You're not
saying
gonna
is
be
that
as critical as it. You know, what I mean?
as someone who
is-
I'm super critical,
I'm
dude.
not
You should have like I literally like didn't stream WoW for almost like for a long time. I didn't because I was pissed at it because it was Shadowlands and there was no player agency. It was literally grind a currency that won't be relevant in 6 months type of shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's how. Yeah, that's exactly how I felt like that everything that was either going to even sell or try to sell in the auction house and I don't know. I just felt like everything was not as valued as it would be because you even said it's older content. You know what I mean?
Dude, you
And
were
it's
killing boars outside of Orgrimmar. That
I'm
has
just
no
I was-
value.
It's still a point. There's still a point. In Albion Online, there's a value
Interested
to
in the
other than
lesson
just
or
farming
three?
low level mats. It's to help the crafters. The people
There's
who don't want to go out there and
nothing I
craft.
can't scale.
Well,
you
here's
have
the
to
thing.
go
I
and
still
study the
sell
market.
low-level mats. They just don't sell for very much because
Of
it's
course they don't because
because-
it's so.
be-
I can't think
not
it.
because everybody's been grinding
value.
them for years and years that there is such a high supply and there's a low demand. It's basic economics. That shit's been out forever. What's gonna sell
Because
good?
you know why?
What's
You know
gonna
why?
sell
Because
good is the new stuff that everyone's trying to do that there's not enough of on the market.
you don't lose anything that you get.
You don't lose anything at all.
I know, but it's like do weapons even break
Yeah.
if you actually let it go all the way and then you can't repair it?
No, you can still repair your weapon at a blacksmith, but it
Yeah,
costs a
see,
lot more.
But yeah, exactly. So all right, in Albion, there's things that break.
And if
And
you
when
like
you
that
kill
kind of gameplay,
someone-
that's awesome. But for
Yeah,
someone who
I know, that's
doesn't want to
why-
have to deal with, like, being like, oh, I have to deal with this constantly, and I have to deal with this.
I want zero risk involved.
No, I want. It's like I want to get on and I want to do what I'm trying to do. I don't want to have to do a bunch of side shit that takes away from the whole thing is like, oh, you're hopping on and you're riding dragons and you're killing monsters and you're having fun. And then, like I was saying with the weapon skills last night, that's the
PvE
reason they
skills,
did away with
I
it,
think.
because they want people out there experiencing the content they created instead of sitting in capital cities hitting dummies when they loot a new weapon and they don't have enough skill to use it. That's why, like,
you don't go out and kill dummies. You can go out and kill low-level things and.
but why would they want people out there in the current content? That's my point. And people aren't going to go out there and run around and waste extra time killing extra stuff when they can just go auto attack.
Content, you get rid of the old.
What's gonna
shit. Just
happen?
Get rid of it completely.
Dude, it doesn't matter. It's not about a debate of it. It's what's going to happen is when people go, oh, I got this new thing. Like, dude, if we were playing yesterday and on your hunter and you've been using a bow the whole time, but we got a really good gun that was way better stats for you.
I would have to wait. I would have to wait to go.
What would you rather do if you had an hour to play left? Would you rather be able to equip that gun and go use it and do more dungeons? Or would you rather go sit in a capital city and
if
auto
other
attack a
things-
dummy for an hour? And then that's the end of your gaming for the day. That's why they changed it, is because they want people to be able to play the game, not have. And that's the same reason why they did away with feeding pets and buying ammo and stuff like that. It's
Play
like,
the
dude, these are
game.
magic guns and. Huh?
Albion Online wouldn't exist if the opposite game style.
Well, that's what I'm saying, is that
wasn't a need for.
this game is already so huge and there's already so many things to do.
And guess what? Most of the WoW players that play love PvE. They love dungeons. They go grinding. That it's very mind numbing to me. And
Oh,
when I'm
that's
going
why
to
I don't
PvP
plan
here,
on raiding
it's
this
so
expansion.
imbalanced. It's so imbalanced. PvP is so. You can.
Did you look at the
get
upcoming
stomped by a
patch schedules
Smurf,
at all?
Queue up again. You can queue up again and get put against the same Smurfs back to back. If that's all that's
No,
available,
you don't. Have you? That's
you
what I'm saying.
do.
Dude, you didn't
Yes,
even
you
look.
do.
If you would
I
have,
played.
did you play one single max level battleground? No, you didn't. You played leveling, which is super unbalanced. It's unbalanced.
Max level. All right, so now again, we're back to promoting the boost of a level character. by
No, I'm
spending
not
more
talking
money.
about boosting a character. I'm talking about playing the dude. I could send you a YouTube video right now where you could level your Drakthir in 5 hours to max level. It's not hard to do. There's videos of routes you can take through Chromie
Very hard
time.
to do. We have ADHD.
Hey,
It's very hard to
I'm
do.
just telling you, there's a reason why I have so many max level characters. It's because leveling is fucking easy now. There's videos I can send you links on YouTube where you can literally take a character from level 10 to level 60 in like 5 or 6 hours following certain routes through Chromie time. Like, it's just, certain quest routes give really good experience in Chromie time, and you hop through it, and you can level super fast. There is absolutely zero need to ever buy a level boost. That is something that you got in your head somewhere that I don't know where from. Probably because they try to push it with the extra versions of the game. Like the higher up versions, they go, oh, buy this version and you get a mount a level boost.
People
and all
who
this.
are PvP oriented, like myself, would be prompted to buy a max level character and not level up through dead shit because no one's there.
Well, if
Or you get put up against people who, because the queues are forever, and you get put up against the same alliance players that are they're fucking decked out shit.
If you
because
don't want
there's
a
no one else
quest, and
available.
if you don't want a dungeon, then yeah, there is really no point to
Yeah,
play
it
Warcraft
sucks.
because it's going to take you a long time to level up through PvP. That is not a viable route for leveling.
It used to be. I used to start level 10. I used to start level 10, and I guess
And
the
if you
player
don't
base
like
was
your
just
queue
more-
times, if one queue time is taking too long, you can go talk to a recruiter, and it causes you to queue as the opposite faction. So you join as the other side, and your queue times are quick.
That is sad. That WoW has to add that in.
It just
'Cause the
made it-
game's dying, dude. The
No,
game's
they
dying,
did
and
it
don't wanna
because
merge
they
all the
had to do that
servers.
because there's an imbalance. Way more people play Horde than Alliance. And because of that, if you're an Alliance player and you're queuing for Battlegrounds, the queue is very fast. Because there's always a team of Horde building ready to go. You know what I'm saying? But if you're Horde, you have to sometimes wait a little bit because there's way more Horde people PvPing. And if you don't want to deal with that, I play as Alliance and Battlegrounds half the time. Just because I'm like, I want some quick Battleground queues, and it doesn't really matter to me which side. I just want to play a character that I know, you know? So, but I have max level tunes on both the Horde and the Alliance, so. I don't know, like, I get what you're saying, and a lot of your complaints are relevant, but a lot of your complaints don't apply to the new expansion once you get here. And I wish you could experience the new expansion because it's
But
super
everything
fun.
you listed that was different to me is not appealing.
There's May 9th, actually May 2nd, the new patch comes out, which is going to have a whole nother new zone. It's going to have another raid, and there's revamped PvP rewards, apparently. That's coming
Like-
out. Like, it's just they have to do
We
things.
can't go out in front of Stormwind and gank people anymore, can we?
You betcha you can.
But you can't get shit from that.
What do you mean? What do you mean you can't get? I don't understand.
Like you wouldn't be able to get their items that when they die you wouldn't be able to loot their body.
You've never been able to loot the body of their items. You've never been able to
That's what
steal
I'm saying,
someone's
Albion-
item. That's
Albion
never been the
can.
case in Warcraft, though. Like,
Albion can.
yeah, and
I
there's
wish-
lots
I
of
wish
games you
WoW
can.
would
Ultima
implement that.
Online, you can too. You remember that?
Yeah, but the graphic.
I'm just saying, like, if that's what you
feel
want, there's
understandable.
there's options for that, but that's never been Warcraft. I'm not saying Albion doesn't
Warcraft
sound like
is
a fun
PvE
game.
Focus. It's so PvE oriented.
Yes, it is, but at the same time, there is really good PvP in it. And did you do any of the brawls? Did you get into any of those?
It's only you only get into good PvP if you're out.
No. I don't think you understand what I'm asking you right now. Did you do any of the PvP brawls?
I'm not. No, probably.
I don't
not.
think you did because you have to be level 70
'Cause
to do them.
No, because if anything, if I did go into there, it would be so imbalanced. I would just be getting crushed.
No,
every
I don't
damn
think
map.
you're high enough
So-
level yet for him. But this week's PvP brawl is Shadowpan Showdown. So what it is a 5 vs 5 arena to beat opposing team's Mogu boss to win. Collect the summon chest for power-ups. So it's a 5 vs 5 arena that has an NPC boss that you have to protect. And it's every week these brawls change. There's also one called Gravity Lapse, which it's Eye of the Storm, but every like 45 seconds gravity disappears and you get shot up into the sky and you can zip around the map really fast when it comes back. because it gives you like a slow fall that moves really fast. You know what I mean? So it completely fucking changes up the game. But the only person that doesn't get shot into the sky is the flag carrier. Or if like you're in a building, you can stop it. So, like if you're running the flag, all of a sudden like people just descend on you from the sky. It's fucking crazy, but it's also really fun. There's Eye of the Ram, which is another weird one they did for a while, which is Eye of the Storm, but everybody is on ram mounts. And you can ram people back with the ram mount, so everyone's just trying to knock each other off the cliffs instead of fighting. And it's fucking chaos and fun. There's this one that's like Soup Slam Dunk or I don't fucking remember what it's called. And it's essentially like each team you're trying to go pick up vegetable items in this field, like, and each team has a soup pot. And you're trying to run items back to your soup pot and fill it before the other team can, but also you're trying to stop them from running them to theirs. There's there's so many fucking PvP brawls. Oh, one of the funnest ones is Arathi Blizzard, and it's literally just Arathi Basin, but they redid the map and it's in a blizzard, and half the buildings are like buried in snow and shit, so you can like stand on the roofs and you can't see more than 10 feet away from you. The whole map is like whited out. So you can't tell where people are coming. You really have to communicate. And like if you can use a sprint and completely get away from people because they can't see where you went. You know what I mean? It's fucking crazy. There's another fun one is South Shore versus Torren Mill, which is literally just 2 teams of 40 charge at each other on a road, and the first team to 150 kills wins. Usually one team gets the advantage, and then in the beginning, and then it's over. Like, you can tell in the first minute who's going to win the game, and then the game lasts about 5 minutes. But it's fun as fuck. It really is. Then there's one, like, if you're trying to they mix this one in on the rotation as well, for, like, if you need to level up tunes with, or not level up, but gear up tunes who don't have any PvP gear, it's called, Comp Stomp, and it's Arathi Basin versus NPCs, and you can get a 5-cap perfect every fucking time, and it's a guaranteed win, and you can farm honor on a character with no PvP gear and get them a full set with it when it comes around. What else is there? Fuck, I can't even remember them all, dude. There's so many different brawls, and the brawl changes every week, and every week it's a completely different one, and it's essentially what the concept is that it's a PvP, or it's a battleground, but they've taken that battleground and put a twist on it. Like there's a Capture the Flag one that's in Warsong Gulch.
Ultimately, if one is good, you like one mode really, really well, you get to only play it for a week.
No, dude,
there's
all of them are good.
You don't like it.
Dude, I like most of them. The brawls are all really pretty fun. And they are fast queues because everybody likes doing them. And you also get bonuses for doing them the first time you do it each week. It's fun. And then another one I just thought about is there's a Warsong Gulch one, but there's 3 flags. And you don't have to have your flag to capture the flag. And it's the first team to 10 caps wins. So it's a race to get 10 caps. And defense is not as important because your flag can be gone and you can still cap. You need to get good flag running teams, you know what I mean? And it's chaos. And it's way easier to get a flag cap because of the chaos. There's flags everywhere at all the time, you know what I mean?
Right, and at what point did Blizzard stop giving the 30 days with your X-Pack purchase? Which X-Pack did they stop doing that on?
I don't know.
I remember when I got my X-Pack before, I had 30 days with that.
I'm not sure. I thought when I bought my X-Pack, I thought I got 30 days.
Which was it? And which one was it I got? There was one that was, I get a character level, I had a character level boost with my X-Pack purchase. Was that Battle for Azeroth? Or was that...
There's been options for that every single time. Like usually you'll get like a
I didn't get that option. I didn't get that option this time when I bought this X Pack.
Really?
No. I had to buy the X Pack and then also the additional monthly subscription. I didn't get the character level boost, dude. I don't want to say all this shit because I just wanted to get into the game and and play it. But I was like, fuck. I'm like, Like, what happened to this shit? They're taking away, and it's inflation in a way. They're creating inflation in in fucking WoW. Kind of like how soda bottles have more indentions in them and shit towards the bottom and whatnot. It's just like the little small interval, those little small little things, and they sell the character boost. You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, since I didn't get one, I'm gonna go buy one now. It's like they're trying to.
Dude, I swear to God, there was an
money out of
option.
me.
Like I'm gonna
I didn't
look.
get one. I didn't get one. Because if before it was right there in the character screen. I believe in the center top. You know what I mean? Your character boost, level 80, I believe it said, from my photographic memory. I didn't get one this time around, man. They are getting greedy, dude. I'm like, fuck. All right, let's just play it. Let's give it a shot, And then as soon as I saw the mounts for $20 and shit and some market pop-up thing, I'm like, you motherfuckers.
Okay, so on this page right here, I can send you a picture of it. The heroic edition, the one that's $70.
Yeah, the higher you have to pay more.
That's
So
how
you're still
all of them
paying
have
more.
been, though. You can buy the
No, they
base
have
edition.
not. I
Dude.
always bought a basic, dude. I never went beyond more than one.
They had
WoW
digital. They've had
guide.
digital deluxe since like Pandaria, dude.
And it was probably around then.
That's
or
what they
something.
called it,
Yeah.
digital deluxe.
That it's just that those transitions. As you can tell, I don't play WoW every year, or every.
No, for sure.
There's been like.
But the next one up would have come
5 year
with
gap.
would have come with the character boost and shit. And
Yeah,
it would
with
have
the
come
higher
with
end versions.
it would have come with a mount and a pet as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which I don't care. I don't
You
care
don't care
about
about
those
that shit.
cosmetic shit. No, I don't care
Yeah.
about cosmetics. Which they're selling for $20+ in the fucking the market. Cosmetics. I'm like, that's what. Oh my god! They were just mocking my internal voice. You know what I mean? It was just.
But have you
They're
looked
like-
at what
they're
they're doing
laughing.
now, though?
They're not doing much.
They are, though. Like compared to now what
Look,
they
you
do.
get a change in mechanics and you're flying.
No,
and
no, no,
now
no, no,
that's
no, dude!
worth-
You're like you haven't even been to the new continent, dude.
All right. So what we're paying for are the artists that create these new bosses.
We're not just
You
paying
make
for that.
them
We're paying
bigger.
for the constant. Like this is the other thing. This is what I'm talking about. Where you haven't seen the update schedules and shit. Like before, you would play an expansion and you would speculate when shit would happen. With this, once again, this has to do with player agency. They're trying to respect players. They're laying out the roadmap for the next year and a half for the game. Like they're like, this is during this time, during the spring of this, we're going to be doing these minor patches that are going to be bringing these upgrades to the game and things you asked for here and here. During this time, we're going to be doing this. This is constant update schedule. They have a full team working that updates the game and updates the current content every couple months. It's a complete update going on. I'm going to try to find the thing for you. Wow. Update schedule.
I would not be as disgruntled if I didn't have a high price tag to enter in to try it out again.
I wish I could have got you on a couple weeks back because they had a free play week like a month and a half ago where you could
Yeah,
come in and play for free.
That should have just been. It should be like that all the time.
They have them somewhat regularly, but
Yeah, you could play like a free trial character or something up to like level 10 or some shit like that, or 20 or some shit
up to
like
level
that.
20.
But it's you're not experiencing the. Even you said you're not experiencing the game at that
Well,
level.
you
know what
are
I mean?
experiencing the game if you've never played it before, but you've played it and you've done all that.
Yeah.
So that's not what you should be doing. You are coming back to play Dragonflight. You're not coming back to hang out in Orgrimmar and kill boars. That's why I was like trying
No,
to
I
convince
came
you to hop
back
on that
PvP. I
Drakthir.
don't care about the. I don't care about the expansion.
Drakthir's are pretty
as
boss in
far as-
PvP, dude.
As far as the new raids and dungeons and bosses, like that doesn't. I don't know. I feel like that is so redundant in a way, just so tedious and
There's a
unfulfilling.
I don't disagree with you there, dude. I
You go
have
through so much grind and you don't get an item for you. It's so like,
oh,
my
it's
God.
very
Look at the
deflating.
XP.
And I used to
But you're
talk.
not going XP if you're max level. You know, it's like
Well, dude, exactly. I used to talk a lot of shit about that. Like, I have a hard, like, I don't like raiding because of that. Although they added new shit in where, like, you haven't seen the vault, where like if you for every couple raid bosses you kill each week, you unlock a new spot in the vault. And they introduced this last expansion to deal with that, so that way they can combat RNG a little bit. And every week you get to open the vault, and it gives you, for every couple bosses you kill, it gives you a different item to pick. So you get to pick one item every week, hopefully an upgrade for you. And I mean, there's no guarantee it won't be an item you don't have, but you decrease those odds by like if you kill a whole raid, you get 3 options to pick from. You know what I mean? If you kill that whole raid on like LFR, if you kill that whole raid on normal, those options item levels increase. If you kill it on heroic, those levels increase yet again. Then down on another level, there is mythic dungeons. So they have mythic plus dungeons, which are dungeons that are done on a timer with like affixes, which are like hard.
yeah, that's fucked up, dude. Or I was gonna ask about the whole timer shit.
So-
like, is it actually true that because you could pay for your subscription, right?
Hey,
Through tokens, right?
yeah.
All right, and then but you're limited on how many tokens you can get. Right?
No.
You just can't grind all day and every day and get as many tokens as you want, right?
Yeah, you absolutely can.
That's fucked up. Why can you not? You're playing their game longer,
Dude,
right?
dude,
You're
I'm
promoting
saying
their
you
game by
absolutely can grind and get all the tokens you want. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. There's people who
No,
literally
those dungeon things are on timers. You
No,
said,
no,
right?
no, no,
You
no.
can't
The
just start
time-
grinding them back to back.
Dude, that's not what I'm talking about. So, you completely misunderstood me. I'm sorry. So, a Mythic Plus dungeon is like, you get a keystone, and it's Mythic Plus, and you go into the dungeon, and you put it inside this slot in the dungeon. It's like a pedestal at the beginning of the dungeon. You
Make
put
it all nice and decorative and pretty and distractive.
You put
and
that
make it
keystone into
limited.
that pedestal, and it activates a new level of difficulty for the dungeon. So instead of just doing the dungeon, you now have a timer that you were trying to beat that dungeon before the timer runs out. If you don't beat the timer, it doesn't kick you out. You just lose one of the rewards. You have if you beat the timer, and every time someone dies, you lose a little bit of time. And these dungeons are much, much harder, and they have affixes, which is like quaking, which is like every 45 seconds the boss puts out a quaking thing that you have to get away from. Or
What's the thing on the dungeon block where you can't grind a dungeon back to back?
there's nothing about that I'm aware of.
There's something that stops you from farming something over and over again.
I think that it's like you can't do
something
more
that's
than
very
like 10 an
important.
hour. I think it like maybe
I
I remember
remember
a
with my
lockout of
ex-
something like that
with
from
my
back
ex-
in the day, but like the thing is dungeons are so long, you could run dungeons over and over and over again, and you're never gonna hit that because it takes so long to run dungeons.
There's
But-
something that prevents people from getting.
There's weekly
those
raid
tokens.
lockouts, which is you can only loot a raid boss once a week.
That's something like
But
why?
raid bosses drop because raid bosses drop gear that is not
Yeah.
tradable, that empowers you, and they don't want
not all of it's untradable.
They don't want a
lot of
guild.
this shit.
No, it's all 99% of it's bind on pickup, dude. And so when you're killing
Yeah.
those raid bosses, they don't want people like to be able, like, for instance, like the super rare mounts. They want them to stay rare, so they want it to be like you can kill them on every difficulty.
So it's not a player-driven economy; it is a dev-driven economy.
No, because these items do not give any monetary value to the economy because they cannot be traded or sold. They don't want
Exactly,
people
a lot of
grind.
this shit can't.
It's bind on pickup. That's what that means. There's bind on equip and bind on pickup. Bind on equip means when you
Ultimately, they
equip
want
it.
you playing longer before you can actually get to end.
I don't know where you're getting that from. You got an idea in your head that's not true, and I'm trying to explain it to you.
PvP wise, okay? For PvP wise, I have to wait longer to get better gear so that I'm not getting stomped.
No, you don't,
in
because
those-
you could literally gear up pretty quick and easy in PvP.
Ooh, it's not- but quick and easy to you is like, is
A day or two.
Yeah, but for me, that would be like a month. Okay.
Why?
Because I don't play as much. I can't grind.
You can't
that,
do a
dude.
couple battlegrounds each day?
Probably not, dude. I'll probably get bored of it and go ahead and doing something else, and then come back to it later and shit like that. It's just.
Well, I'm just saying, like, every week you could just do win your one random battleground, win your epic battleground, win your arena
could
skirmish.
grind.
Huh?
I could grind if there was.
It's
if
not
there
even a
was
grind.
benefit to
It's
it, or some fun to it.
But that's what I'm saying. You never even tried it at the like.
I
You didn't.
did, dude. I have, man.
No,
It's
you haven't,
completely
because you
different.
never. You didn't do any. You didn't get to do any of the stuff. You did some beginning battlegrounds, which is the same old stuff on level 20 characters. You did not do max level stuff. You did not feel how characters play at max level now. How long did you play your Invoker for? Just through the intro quest? Like, I could hop on my Invoker right now. We could level them together. Mine's level 60, ready to roll. Once you get into playing it, it's pretty fucking fun to play. You just, like the Demon Hunter, it takes a second to get used to with all the glides, and not glides, but the dashes and shit like that, the jump backs, and it's more you're playing the area and less just sitting there hitting things, but it makes it more intuitive, makes it more fun to play, you know?
There's nothing gratifying. Nothing's gratifying when you accomplish anything. Well, for me, that is. I don't feel any gratification. When I killed people in the battlegrounds, there was zero gratification. I didn't feel any type of gratification for
Because
doing
you
that-
were
those
doing
kills.
Warsong Gulch at level 20.
No,
Without-
I've done
you do- you
Warsong
don't
Gulch at level
even-
10.
Dude, you
and had,
don't
and had better gratification when I was playing before.
you don't even
Because
have
you
your
don't-
full loadout. You know what I'm saying? Like, no
I
offense, like
understand-
leveling
I
with
understand.
battlegrounds is a fun
I'm
idea,
comparing it to
but
my-
it's a
to my level
time-consuming.
experiences.
Like, I leveled my rogue all the way through battlegrounds, like I told you, and that took me a year and a half to do, because
That
when
battleground that we were in, the last battleground that we were in, I have never experienced a battleground like that playing WoW in the past.
I have experienced battlegrounds like that on both sides numerous times.
I have not.
But you know what?
I've
That's because
I've never got stomped like that.
That's because you have never played, like, with the new since the new level crunch happened. When I'm telling you that, I tried to warn you before we went in. I said, hey, when you're playing battlegrounds, when you're leveling up, they're very unbalanced. Certain classes
Really? Oh yeah.
have a lot
I
more
saw that.
abilities at certain
That's not
levels than
fun.
other ones do. And
That's not fun to grind through.
remember me
It's
telling
not-
you that, like, one week I was on my paladin one-shotting people, and the next week I literally could do my full fucking cooldown burst, and I wouldn't get someone down 10% because I hit that new level bracket. And diminishing returns hits when you
1
level up
week
on your gear.
later.
Huh?
1 week later. That means that the other side that was stomping you kind of gave up and they stopped.
No,
They
it
played
means
the-
that my
they play
character
Apex
kept getting
now.
experience and
too.
leveling up and entered into a new bracket and was playing with different people, and then
I
the
know that
stats
bracket.
and the stats on their
They're like
armor
19,
changed.
29, 39,
Gear that is
49.
really good on you, the brackets don't work like that anymore. I'm not entirely sure
Oh,
how it
God.
works anymore. It's fucking
They
madness.
keep making it worse. Probably It's
They're
like-
making it
I
so
would-
that way you can have quicker games, because for a while
Exactly. You're gonna get put in with people that are just gonna stomp you for a week. But if you just grind that shit at the same times,
and
that
guess
they're
what? You're
playing-
also gonna get put into groups with people who just stomp the other team.
no.
yeah.
It's whoever's available. It's whoever's available.
Exactly, and who's going to be available? And if you're getting
The same team you got last time. The same
and guess
team
what?
You got last time.
Guess what? You can do a thing called mercenary mode where you go, "Fuck, I just had the
Go
same
on the
team."
other side.
But you know what? Let me tell you how
It's
often
so
I run into
lame.
the same people in battlegrounds. Almost never, because one side queues super fast. So when they get out of the battleground, they requeue and they're already in another one. And while they're in that other one, I have to wait 5 minutes of them being in it to get put into another one. So it's impossible for me to be putting into the same battleground as them. Do you understand that? Because of this time staggering?
Yeah, I understand that, and it's fucked up how a company like Blizzard
Can't
merge
magically
more
make a
servers.
physics problem which fixes imbalanced numbers of way more Horde players in Alliance. They did come up with a solution. It's called mercenary mode.
No,
That's
it's
what I'm
called-
saying.
Oh, find a server that has high alliance.
It doesn't matter about servers. All the servers queue together.
All of them.
All of them. All of them. Battle groups don't even
That's
exist
sad.
anymore, from what I understand.
That is sad. Then, if it takes that long, if all the servers are
It doesn't
mixed
matter
in
about take, dude.
queues,
If there's 500 Alliance people
not just
queuing,
clusters,
and then
not
there's
just clusters,
5,000
but
Horde
all.
people queuing, who's gonna wait longer? You
if there's
can't do
only-
anything about that. That's simple numbers, dude. You're getting mad about math. Like, I don't know how to break that to you. They're trying to fix that right now with shit like they're getting ready to launch in the next month. They're gonna start cross-faction guilds because they just want the community to play together, because they want to be able to just have it easy peasy, because currently about 75% of the player base is Horde of active players. Horde gets every single world first when it comes to raids. All the top guilds are Horde. Alliance doesn't do much these days, and it's so what they're trying to do is make it so it doesn't matter if you're Horde or Alliance, you can still play with the same player base and get fast battleground queues and get all this shit without having to do all these other side things. They're trying to fix the problems, but the problem is math. It's not.
They're just trying to make money. That's all I'm saying. Everything they're adding into is just how they can make more money.
Well, that's
And
what a
I don't get
company
it. It's
does. But
capitalism. I know, I understand that, and I completely understand that. But when it gets to a certain point where it's taking your hard-earned dollars, and you're not getting the gratification from it, then there's a point where you just gotta say you don't get any of my dollars at all, even if it'll be $5 or $10.
I 100% agree with that and understand that. My only thing that I'm saying is that you're quitting before you even tried out the new stuff. You went in, you did old stuff, you leveled the 20 on Orc Hunter, and then said, nope, this isn't for me. And you didn't even try to level your new Drakthir character, which is the new race and the new...
No, I did.
I mean, what level is he? 60?
He's like 59 or 58 or 58. Or
That's
almost
what
in
level they
59.
come out of their intro in, dude.
Yeah, they come out as 58, but I was almost in the 59.
I'm just saying, like, we could hop on those and we could do that shit, and you could check out some of the new stuff, and you could experience some of the things, and we could try to do a path which we could level you up quickly to like level 70, so then you can start trying out some of the brawls. You can come to the new area and we can do the shit to get you really quickly geared with tokens that will gear
their
you.
mob equivalency as well too doesn't match up. You know, like when I'm level 18 hunter and can take out these higher level things with ease, and they don't even do any
That
damage.
will
to me,
not
I
be
get
the
bored as
that
yeah,
will
we'll
not be
to
the
higher
case.
end if I get a character boost, right, and just bypass all the
No,
boring.
if you just play
shit.
your Drakthir.
It's boring. I get bored, dude. I want to get into PvP and shit. You know what I mean? And then, but I can't because everyone who's in the PvP, they're all fucking fully ass fucking geared and shit.
Well, here on May 9th, as I was going
I
to hear,
can't have that intro PvP experience because one, if I start a new character, everyone's like, the servers are dead. There's no one.
why
leveling
don't
new
you play on
characters
one of your
today.
other characters? I've told you that we can play cross-server. That's not a problem.
Yeah.
Like, I don't
But
that's
my
the other
other
thing.
character will get stomped because it's not geared up to
It'll
what
get
it
geared
is
up
now.
quick. That's how it goes for every single person entering PvP. My characters get stomped right now because they don't have arena gear. They only have a couple pieces. You know, it's the way it goes when you first start out. No matter what expansion it is, it was that way back in the day, dude. We had twinks in vanilla. It was that way in vanilla when they very first introduced battlegrounds. Like, imbalances happen.
But twinking is dead now, right?
More or less, because what they did is because twinking became a problem. One twink could literally take on like a whole fucking team in the low B levels, and so to put a stop to it, what they ended up doing was they made it so you could get experience in battlegrounds, so you couldn't just be level 19 in battlegrounds for fucking ever one-shotting everything. So as soon as you finish that battleground, you'd level up. You know what I'm saying? And then they made it so you could lock your experience, but if you lock your experience, you only play against people with their experience locked. So all of a sudden, all these twinks were only playing against other twinks, and it became balanced, and it was no fun for them.
Good. That's not. No, that would be fun.
Well, it wasn't fun for these people because what they wanted was to run through PvP, one-shotting everyone, ruining everyone's day. That was what was fun for them. And when they could no longer do that,
right?
yeah, they were sitting there streaming themselves, one-shotting everyone in Warsong Gulch and sitting there with the flag dancing in their graveyard, killing everyone. You know what I'm saying? Like, and they wanted to put a stop.
Because they don't have an NMR. They don't have an MMR. They don't have an ELO system.
They do for arenas.
In all ranks.
They have that for rated battlegrounds, and that was the other thing I was going to mention to you that I didn't get to because you said something else and it got me distracted. But that vault I was talking about, if you do rated battlegrounds, you get PvP gear every week in that vault as well. Also, there's another thing that I was telling you about where you're like, I can't just go around ganking people. Yes, you can. But they also want people to be able to log on and play without getting ganked. So how do you fix that? Well, they came up with a thing called
zones.
Huh?
You have zones like Albion Online. It's that simple.
Yeah.
You have beginners. You have beginner zones, which are blue and yellow.
No, they did away with that. That used to be the old way they did it. Was that green zones were home safe and you couldn't get attacked in a green zone. Yellow zones were contested and anyone could attack anyone. And in red zones, you were an enemy and you couldn't attack first. But they could attack you, and if they attacked you, you could attack back. That's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. But people were... Well, no, not necessarily, because people were still getting ganked. Like, there would be quests where you'd be killing something, and you'd get flagged for PvP.
Get off the PvP server, then. Get off the... Like, boo-hoo.
What they did...
Go to PvE.
Do you want to hear what the solution is, or do you want to keep mocking it?
No, this is how it is.
No, it's not. They made a solution that's really fucking elegant and good, but you don't want to hear it because you're just mocking it. Let me tell you. What they ended up doing is they created a thing called War Mode. And if you can flag yourself for War Mode, and if you do that, it's the whole world is PvP at that point. There's no more zones. It's War Mode. And if you level in War Mode, you get an XP bonus. So it entices people to play in War Mode. And or you can go into turn War Mode off. And if
That's what New World did.
Okay, yeah. Well, if you turn
That's what New World did that ruined the whole Albion Online idea.
Well, I'm telling you, it works nice because you can go
Nice
into
for PvE players that want to pick and choose when they want a PvP on a PvP server.
Perfect.
Which is fucked up.
There is no more PvP servers. They did away with it. All servers are all servers. And I used to play on PvP servers because I wanted to be able to PvP. But also, I want to be able to sometimes just go fucking farm some herbs without having to worry about some dickhead rogue trying to beat me to the herbs or a druid.
That should be on a PvE server, which you can flag up in War Mode. And then you are PvP.
No, see now I don't have to have a whole different character on a whole different server with a whole different economy to do that. I can do both on one server. Thus, it's respecting player agency. It's respecting the player's time. Say, I want to go troll people and I want to PvP and I want to go have chaos tonight. I'm flagging for War Mode and I'm going to the Oharan Plains. You know, or you can go. I want a nice peaceful evening. I want to mine some fucking. I just want to sit and mine some nodes and pick some herbs after a stressful day at work.
He's saying time out.
Why is that not okay with you that someone can have the best of both worlds? Why does it have to be bad for someone?
Because
you're not ruining one. Because everybody who wants to PvP can now PvP on every server.
No,
and it flags them all together, and it creates giant world PvP that's awesome for people that want it.
It ruins
and then when you're done with it, you can turn it off and go, I'm done with that, and now I want to do something else. And
it ruins the immersive experience for PvP players. All right.
Not at all. Just flag yourself for War Mode and never.
I'm telling you right now.
You can only flag War Mode on and off inside of Orgrimmar or Stormwind. You have to go there to do it. So you can't just sit there in the field and flag it off if you're getting beat up. It's literally turn it on and leave it on. If you want PvP, turn it on and leave it on. Boom. How is the immersion ruined? You can PvP wherever you want. No immersion ruined. If you get tired of getting ganked...
You can't PvP wherever you want unless the other person's flagged, which most of them are not going to be
You won't see them. You'll be phased. Do you not understand phasing, man? I've explained this to you. You're, like, angry about something that doesn't exist. No immersion is ruined. You will be in a completely different phase with everyone who's flagged for PvP, and then everyone who doesn't want PvP is in a different phase. You won't be able to see them or interact with them. You'll just see the people you're ganking, and there's plenty of them.
More sense.
Huh?
I said that makes a little bit more sense. When you
Sorry,
explain
I didn't.
that.
I'm not trying to get mad. I thought you understood that. I'm like, I don't understand how the immersion's ruined. No, yeah, you're completely immersed. You'll never see. They'll be phased. And like in capital cities, it's fun to turn war mode on because all of a sudden, boom, guess what? You can start fucking ganking people. Like you get actually people coming into the city trying to do that for the Alliance or for the Horde shit for the Black Warbear. Yeah. And this was the other thing I was trying to show you too, but we guys keep getting distracted. Look at this. This is what they're doing now. I'm pulling this over so you can see it on the stream. This is how they're this is the 2023 plan, and then when 2024 comes out, they'll put out another roadmap. So currently we are just hitting spring, or we just hit spring. What you see is Return to the Forbidden Reach. They released a human and orc heritage armor sets with the quest lines to do them, but you have to have leveled up an orc or a human to level 60 without any boosts or anything like that to do it. And then they did holiday updates. So they're updating. The holidays are going to be a lot different. Like, not a lot different, but they're adding like new items and new events for the holidays, so they're not the same holiday events that they've been for the last few years. Now this new one, Season 2 patch, which is going to be coming out in May, that'll be another new zone. Like, that's 2 new zones back to back. I mean, technically the Forbidden Reach isn't a new zone, it's the one you leveled your Drakthir in, but it's completely reworked. You're running around it hunting rares. Oops, damn it, I didn't mean to do that. You're running around it hunting rares. Like, that's where I've been doing this whole time. You're opening vaults, you're collecting keys, it's really fun. So there's going to be a new zone, new raid, the new PvP season starts, new Mythic and Dungeon Pool, Mythic Plus Dungeon Pool. So that that's what I was talking about, the Mythic Plus. Every season they pick 8 dungeons, and they make those dungeons Mythic Plus dungeons. And they could be older dungeons, they could be newer there's a mix of both older and newer dungeons mixed in. And when you go into those, as I said, like, you can keep increasing your key. Like, it'll be Mythic +1, or you can get all the way up to like 25, I've heard people doing. And every time you Mythic Plus, like +7, +5, plus, whatever, it increases in difficulty by percentages and gets harder and harder and harder. But they drop better and better gear. Like, you can get raid quality gear by doing these 5-man dungeons. So you don't need a full 25-man team to get raid quality gear anymore. You can do Mythic Plus dungeons, and a lot of people do that. A lot of people play Mythic Plus dungeons as the main thing they play these days. Profession updates. They've completely reworked professions. I don't know if you've seen that on there. I'm going to move this to the side real quick just to show you this. Open them up real quick so you can see. These are the new profession windows, and you even get like skill points you can put in professions that like unlock new abilities for you. Like, currently I just finished putting a bunch of points into this one. You can see 40. And that makes me so I can now mine and or I can now herb my herbs without getting off my mount. I don't have to dismount to do it anymore. It makes it way faster. You get these points. They're like random items or drop chance items from when you're mining or noding. They give you a knowledge thing, and there's quests you can do to get them every week as well. The other thing, oops, damn it, sorry. Profession updates. So they're doing more updates to that. They said there's going to be lots of updates. Also, there's new profession gear. So when you're doing a profession, your gear changes to that, and the gear gives you like stats that help your profession, like hats, tools, chest pieces, shit like that.
Ultimately, in the long run, like, I don't think WoW is going to be that fruitful in the Twitch ad revenue aspect.
Yeah, potentially. I don't know. That's also why I play a lot of different stuff. Like, I've streamed everything from Minecraft to Red Dead to GTA. I've done Halo. We do all sorts of stuff. I did Hogwarts Legacy when that came out. I stream all, like, I don't really I'm not picky about what I stream. It's just when I'm playing by myself and I don't have anyone to play with, I usually play WoW because no one I know plays WoW. But now I was excited. I was like, oh, I got a homie to play WoW. That's why I was like happy to level you through whatever you wanted to do and try to carry you through shit, because I was just happy to have a homie to play with again because it's been a while. But also, though, I play in a way that you might not like to play. That's a valid point, because I like I love stories. I read a lot of books. Like, I don't know if you can see behind me, but I have Warcraft lore books that like literally describe the lore of the world. Because I mean, I've been playing these games since Warcraft 2 was the first Blizzard game I really got into. And I mean, that's what got me building computers, was trying to get a better computer to play Warcraft 2 when I was like 12 years old, 10 years old, you know?
Right.
So, I mean, I'm invested in the world's story. So when I'm questing, I read the quests. I understand what's going on. Like, if you ever had questions about the world, I can tell you the whole fucking history. And then the other thing it says it's doing is user interface improvements. Now, if you look at my layout here that I use on my Warcraft, it's kind of a weird setup. Got my map in the middle and all this, but I did this completely in game. There's no add-on I used to do this. You can customize your shit this much, and I'm using an MMO mouse, obviously, with the 12-button configuration on the side. You know.
Oh shit. Yeah.
So what I have it set up is, this is 1 through 12 laid out exactly like on the mouse, and then if I hit shift, it's these ones. So I'm literally just using my button and my shift while I use my WASD. And I got 24 abilities hotkeyed instant without having to think about them or look at them.
Oh, nice.
That's how I do it. And that's why I set it up like this. Then over here, this is control and this is alt. So these ones I don't really ever need to use, but if I do need to use them, I can still use them without having to pull my hand off the keyboard or my mouse. You know what I mean? And I don't actually have to click.
Right.
Also, they but that's like all new interface shit they did. Also, they have like a target thing. Like, see how I'm like when I move around, the circle underneath these guys changes depending on where I'm facing. Like the outline circle.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
Like that, it's on that NPC now, and in a second it'll be on the Flight Master. Or no, it's on that guy, and so it does that automatically. You can set that in there, and if I hit F, I set F to my interaction key. I just hit F, and it'll talk to him. I don't actually have to click on them anymore to talk to people. If it's highlighted, you just hit F, and when you automatically look at them, they highlight. And so what the nice thing about that is that now I also set my fishing to G. So to fish, I don't have to click at all. I can just walk over to water, hit F, and then when the fucking bobber hits, hit G and pull it in because it's interacting with the you know what I'm saying? G to cast, and it's already going to be highlighting my bobber, and then as soon as it bobs, I can just listen for the sound, and it'll, like, there it is, hit F, fish. I literally watch shows and fish with my other hand while I don't even pay attention. My side brain does it, and I'm farm fishing when I like watch TV sometimes. It's so easy. You don't have to look at it or do anything. You just hit one button, then the next button. That's all new from their interface options that they've added in. Completely redone the interface. And that's just what, like, then this summer they're supposed to be releasing a mega dungeon, and the mega dungeons are like a raid, but it's a dungeon, so you only need 5 people. But they have they're a little bit harder bosses. So when they like, for example, I think the first one they did is they revamped Karazhan. And and the mega dungeon is its own thing, and then after the season's over that it came out in, they split it into 2 dungeons and let everybody do it, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the first like month or so the Mythic dungeon's out, it can only be done on Mythic difficulty. You get what I'm saying? So it's like it's a difficult dungeon meant to be hard, but it's going to be meant to be super fun and give you way better rewards. They're going to be adding in new world events. And then it says content and system updates. I'm not sure what that means yet, and because it says that over here. And then there's another holiday refresh here as well. So they probably are refreshing half the holidays here. We're about to see when Noblegarden hits. And then they're adding in a whole new story and quest chain in fall that will probably have to do with the new zone. And then Season 3 will be yet another new zone, another new raid, a new PvP season, a new Mythic dungeon and pool and whatnot, and then additional content and features, which they haven't released yet. But there's a lot of speculation about what those things could be, because they've been really trying to bring stuff in that the players have been asking for. And they're trying really hard, like making like transmog account-wide, and making rep rewards account wide, and making mounts account wide, and doing things like that where it's just like you don't have to go farm all this shit on every character every time. If you did the work to do it, you have it, and you can enjoy it on all your characters. Like, they're trying to make the game more alt friendly as well. That's a lot of what, like, the when I say player agency, that's a lot what I mean, is like they're trying to make it so if you do something on one character, it doesn't just benefit that character, it's benefiting your account. So you can play multiple characters and benefit your account at the same time, and it isn't like I have to do, you know, you get what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but, and I totally do understand what you're saying, where it feels like coming back that you have to do all this shit just to get involved in it. But I'm telling you that if you if I know you're already probably or you're already uninstalled, but you got 3 weeks left on that. I highly encourage you to reinstall and at least give your 1 day of play on your Drakthir or Drak, and then I will hop on mine and I'll play with you.
To Albion.
Huh?
I'd like to invite you to Albion online, and I'll show you. It's not as graphical as WoW, but the mechanics of it, and what gratification that you receive when, like, say if you and I got geared up and we decided to go out to the Black Zone and go ganking or something like that, and we kill someone, and like say he was like harvesting like all this shit, like cotton and skinning, all wood, all this shit, whatever. We go out and hunt a gatherer. We hunt him down, and doesn't have a getaway build, you know, because there's different builds that you wear. They give you different abilities, and a lot of this gathering gear can give you like fleeing abilities, allow you to flee away and mount up and get away. You know, as long as you're on your mount, for the most part, you're safe, unless you get chain CC'd by a bunch of people, and they can dismount you and fight you down to no health, and you die. You respawn back to your nearest town or respawn point naked.
It sounds fun, but it also sounds incredibly frustrating.
It is really frustrating if you don't prepare yourself. And like, say if you go out into the Black Zone and you're wearing your Gucci gear, and it's the highest gear that you have, but you don't have anything to replace it with. You can't replace that gear if you died. You know what I mean? You have to value what you're going to wear out into PvP zones. Now, you can take your high Gucci gear and go do some in all the non-lethal areas and still experience your gear, but there's risk versus reward. You know what I mean? So you have to calculate how much risk you're going to put in, which is like how much they calculate how much your gear is worth when you're wearing it. You're estimated on all the markets and all the cities, because you can sell your stuff in different cities and get different values, because there's different resources that are further or closer away from that city. Like, some cities have like 2 or 3 zones where there's no animals. It's all, you can't get any leather. So leather is usually higher valued in those cities, because someone has to go travel 3 zones to go get it and bring it back, versus just traveling right outside the city and getting that resource and bringing it right back into the market to sell it. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get you. I mean, that's a complete. It sounds like a completely different style of game. Absolutely.
Well, no, not necessarily.
I'm not like. It sounds more like RPG. It's more. No, it sounds like it's still an MMORPG, but it's like, for instance, like Rust or fucking Ark are both MMORPGs technically.
Hold up.
I think... Oh, yeah, that's right. I came over here to grab... Show your metal.
Good day to you. See you later. See you around.
Shall we talk a while? Safe travels.
All right, I'm back.
Yeah, fuck yeah. No, for like, I don't remember what I was saying before you took off, but I'm probably gonna.
Oh,
Have...
I know what you're saying. You're saying, oh hey, yeah, I'll try out that Albion Online through your recruiter friend link.
Send me a link. Send me a link. I'll check it out.
All right, here.
But I'll tell you. I do remember what I was saying now. It's like, well, while I would, like MMOs can be way different, and WoW is a pretty easygoing MMO these days. Like it can be grindy a little bit.
You play WoW on your phone?
No. I don't believe so. You can play it on a Steam Deck, which is like a portable device. You can play it on that now. And if Microsoft ends up buying Blizzard like they were talking about, I would imagine it will be coming to Xbox, which will be cool because I'll finally be able to get my buddy L to play.
Yeah. Albion Online, you can play cross-play with phone.
Well, so that's what I was just going to say, is that like WoW is an MMORPG, obviously, but there's also RPGs like that that are like Rust or Ark that are still technically MMORPGs, but they're like
not what. Oh, it's kind. I mean,
they still are. There's servers you play with online
kind
players.
Kind of like Rust. It's kind of like Rust.
But that's what I'm saying.
More
Those
like
games are like a lot more.
Though.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is you're making it sound like it's like a mix between like an old school, like top-down kind of view, like Diablo view, almost RPG, but in the style of Rust or Ark, where everything is super intense and people will raid your shit and don't get me wrong, like
you have hideouts that if you have a good enough guild.
I have a really good phone, so I'll definitely, if it's a phone game, I'll check it out on there because I've been looking for a fun game to play on my phone. But,
exactly, dude. You just lay back in the bed and just gather shit, or just it's.
So yeah, I'll check it out.
I need to
but on at the same time, though, it's like, you know what I'm saying is like, I do 100% get your complaints with what you're saying, but at the same time, I feel like you need to try out this new shit before you say that this new expansion is a money grab, because this new expansion is honestly really amazing.
A money grab.
Well, every expansion, in a sense, is a money grab because they're trying to make money.
I don't fall into it. Like Call of Duty, I boycotted Call of Duty after the fucking fifth Modern Warfare. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, I honestly, I never have liked Call of Duty. But
every new Call of Duty, it was the same previous Call of Duty with maybe like an extra perk with an extra gun. And it's like, that should be a patch or an update. I'm sorry. And
but what I'm saying is that the amount of time and the amount of people and the amount of resources it takes to create a continent like this to fly around, they had to create new in-game physics for the dragon.
And now they phased it. They ruined it. That phase fucking triggered me too. I was like,
no, that was our own. Hey, that was us. That was me being dumb and not realizing what was happening.
Still, dude.
That is not the case.
Be mistaken, by any person who did not know.
If we would have looked it up on the forums, we would have known exactly what was happening. And as soon as I hovered over the I just oh, you're phased. That's weird. As soon as I hovered my mouse over your phase bubble, it explained why you were phased. And I was like, fuck, I'm dumb. I'm sorry. Because I was stoned and I have not played with a new character through Time Walk. Like, I've done Time Walking by myself, but not with a friend. So I didn't realize that's how it worked. It's just I was being stoned and it should have been obvious to me, but it wasn't because I was being a stony baloney. But, That is literally just Chromie time because you did Chromie time. You can hop out of it and you wouldn't have any of that phasing anymore because
That
I was
doesn't
not in
make any
Chromie
sense
time.
to me though. Why? Why?
Because what the issue was is essentially what they were calling, like, they said the issue, and it is true in both sides, but they were calling it the War Chief
Is
Shuffle.
it a problem? Is
Yes.
it a problem in the programming?
No,
Or
it
they
was a
just had to,
problem
like,
in the they were trying to fix
make it pretty.
No,
You
let me
know,
tell
for
you.
a reason.
No, it's not in either of those. It's they were calling it the War Chief Shuffle, and it was it was a pacing, and it was a, what do you call, immersion issue, where there was so many expansions and so much history had happened that depending on what quest you were doing, the War Chief in Orgrimmar would change, because you'd have to go turn something into Thrall, or you'd have to go turn something into Sylvanas, or you'd have to go turn something into Vol'jin, or you know what I'm saying? The War Chief was constantly switching back and forth depending on what quests and which area you were doing, and it made things feel really disjointed and non-immersive. And they figured because there's so much expansions to play through, they didn't want people to have to start a new character, play through vanilla, then go play through the Burning Crusades, then go play through this, and go play through every expansion to get to the max level. Because the way the level pacing was,
So
they
it
would
was a
have only...
storytelling problem and a quest placement problem.
Exactly, and they wanted
That's
people to be
when you
able...
can't-
They wanted new players coming into the game who had never experienced it, not to have this really disjointed, weird thing, because some people want to play for the quest, so they figured a really easy way to fix this is to make every...
But the quests are so irrelevant to
Not
like, any...
to you, they are, but not... There's a large number of the player base that does care about that stuff. Like, dude, they have books that they sell to people who care about quests.
Do I skip through that shit? Well,
Well, that's why that doesn't matter to you. Is exactly, and there's a percentage of the player
that's
base
why it
that is
bugs
exactly
me.
like that. But to the percentage of the player base who wants to play in an immersive world, like the people who play on role-playing servers and stuff, like that
Keep it on a
matters.
role-playing server then, you know what I mean?
Well,
It's
no,
like,
that
why
matters.
get rid of the servers?
They
Like,
don't, dude. That's what, look, you're not hearing me. You're jumping to conclusions and then asking why they're doing things they're not doing. What they did is they have said, so what we're gonna do to fix the problem, so that way people who want to experience these immersive experiences of the story and not just level out of them, we're gonna create a thing called Chromie time, which is there's a Chromamu, which is a bronze dragon, a times dragon. I know you don't pay attention to stuff, so this won't make my.
and it brings you back to certain timelines.
So what it does is it sets the world to that time of that thing. So that way when you're turning in stuff, the War Chief stays the same. The quests are cohesive. And what it does is it also makes it so the pacing is set so you can level through that expansion at a normal pace and go from level 10 to level 60 with one expansion. So you can go play through the Burning Crusade story. You can go level through, you know, the different zones in the Burning Crusade. And by the time you're done leveling through those zones, you'll be level 60. Or you can go play through the Shadowlands expansion. And by the time you're done, you'll be level 60. You know, things like that. That's why I was saying there's certain paths through Chromie time you can take that will level you incredibly fast because of how the pacing is. So you can just jump into one timeline, level a little bit, jump back out, jump into a different timeline, level a little bit. You know, that's what I was talking about, taking a path through Chromie time to level.
Yeah, so why didn't my quest line bring me to that?
It did. What happened is we
You
jumped.
brought me to it.
I brought you to
it.
So you.
I was like what, level 15 at the time?
They did a big, huge update on it, and honestly, they would assume because you're a returning player, they would hope you know a new player would be directed to Chromie time. If it was your first,
No, they can't assume that.
I know, but that's the way it works. If you've leveled up a character to max level before, they assume that you would know what's up. So if you're a brand new player and you've never leveled through those zones, like the starting zones, a very, very brand new character has to start at Exile's Reach. They don't get a start at one of those other points. They start at Exile's Reach, they come out, and they're in the Battle for Azeroth expansion. And that's what they're expected to play through for the very first time. After they play through that, the next time they level, they can then pick Chromie time to level through one of those things for their next alt. That's how it works. Because you've already leveled through shit, you could pick Chromie times. And I picked you BFA because BFA gives you like a whole, or not BFA, but the intro quests to Shadowlands give you a couple levels just for running around doing pretty much nothing, like really quick and easy. And then it's 4 zones to level through to get to level 60, and it's pretty quick. Like you can do it in an afternoon or two. But that was me not even looking at a guide. That was just me basing it off of what I'd done before. But so essentially, that's why they did Chromie Time, is so they made it so you can enjoy any one of the expansions fully if you're a new player or if you're a returning player. Like, man, I really loved Wrath of the Lich King. I want to go level through Wrath of the Lich King again. You set your Chromie Time to Wrath of the Lich King with your new character, and you go play, and the levels are set for you at that. And by the time you level through the Wrath of the Lich King zones, you'll be max level. Not max level, but ready to go into Dragonflight. You'll be level 60. Or 58, technically, I think is the level you can go into Dragonflight at. But that's, yeah, and you don't have to mess with Chromie Time. You can just do it how it is. But that was essentially the reason they did that, was to fix the problem of the fact that they had 17 years of expansions and all of those quests still active in one timeline thing. You know what I'm saying? Like when the expansion ends, they don't delete the quests and make it so you can't do them. They're still there. They're still turn-inable, which means that you would have all this weird phasing going on and shit too. And that's the other thing they did that to fix phasing problems. And that's why I was like, why the fuck are you phased? They fixed this when they did. And that was part of like, oh yeah, Chromie Time. He's in Chromie Time. Like that was me being a big dumb dummy, honestly. I take full credit for that phasing thing the other day. I can't believe I let that happen as long as I did. Seriously. That was pretty silly of me. But, I should have had you exit Chromie Time, because Chromie Time is just for leveling. It's a thing to make leveling easier and also group you with more people. Because when you're in Chromie Time, you could run into people from any server who are in that Chromie Time. You know what I mean?
I mean, that's what I was pretty much in the entire time then, right?
Yeah.
And if I'm in Chromie Time, do the Battlegrounds queues take longer?
No.
Because I'm limited to...
No, but what can change in Chromie Time is your dungeon pool for random dungeons. So that's the other nice thing about Chromie Time, is that you can queue up dungeons you want a certain way by going to a Chromie Time. Also, did you ever do time walking dungeons?
Sounds familiar. I think I did it last time I played.
Every week, I think, they have a different time walking dungeon, which is random dungeons you can queue for from a different expansion, and are all from that one expansion. And when you go into them, your level goes to what it should be for that expansion, and whatever gear you get in them is at level, but when you leave the dungeon, it goes back up to what your level would be there. So you can get relevant gear, but you can get like old gear, but now it's relevant. You know what I mean? So like you can get Mist of Pandaria gear with stats that would be from like a Dragonflight dungeon. You know what I mean?
Randomly from like...
And they did that just to make it so players didn't have to play through the same dungeons all the time. Once again, they're like, you know what, you should be able to play whatever dungeons you want, type of thing. And so they have a rotating schedule where they have every week they have a different expansion pool in Chromie, or not in Chromie Time, but in Time Walking Dungeons. And there's also a really, like, it's pretty rare, but there's a rare Infinite Time Reaver Dragon mount you can get from any boss in any Time Walking Dungeon has a chance to drop it, technically. So I mean, there's lots of
Albion installed on my phone.
Lots of fun new shit.
Got a new phone here.
Would you send me that link on Discord, because I'm gonna open it on my phone, and I don't have that open on my phone.
I got you. There's another video on the Albion website getting started, which, because the tutorial doesn't really tell you much. You play the game.
I'm gonna have to get off here pretty soon. I gotta go talk to my girlfriend. She's gonna be leaving for school here in a couple hours. I gotta go make sure she's awake. She's been sleeping this morning. She wasn't feeling that great. So my plan was to stream for an hour or so till she got up, and I think I heard her up a minute ago. So I want to go make sure. So I am gonna have to go here in a minute. But I will be hopping back on later this evening.
Sounds good.
I know that that debate got a little heated. I'm not tripping at all. Like I enjoy a good heated debate. Honestly, that was pretty fun for me.
It's a game.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say I honestly
cool to work
I just was hoping you weren't like upset or nothing, because I mean that was enjoyable for me, and I honestly like I enjoy a good debate.
It wouldn't.
So and
Oh, yeah.
and I agree with a lot of the points you're making, but I really want you to try this new content before you completely write it off, because it is really fun, and it would be fun to level. Look, I'll show you right now before I quit here. I'm gonna log out. I'm gonna hop on my evoker. I keep calling them invokers, but they're evokers. And I'm going to just kind of hop around on it for a second, try to remember what they're like. And honestly, dude, like I am 100% down to try to level this tune with you. We can level through the fucking quests. We can do some dungeons. We can even try to do some battlegrounds before we're max. But honestly, I don't ever recommend doing that. Like,
It's just the ad revenue, man. I'm not sure how I can benefit from WoW through ad revenue. Because I would, dude, it would be so. My
oh yeah,
goal
with you with your
is to
streaming
hit over
and
$10.
Yeah.
$10 a month. that's a goal. Have $10 a month, because I'm like barely like I'm hitting like.
no, understandable.
stream it.
And I need to stream some more variety, because I'm not really a Warcraft streamer. I like to think of myself as a variety.
24-hour streams, and just leave that shit going.
But yeah, if you have
Even
like
if I go to sleep, just like, hey, I'm sleeping, play some music, like a TV or some music videos and shit, and just go to sleep. Oh my god, I'm gonna hit over $10. Yeah, it may not be like consistent viewers, whatever, but whoever does come in has to watch a few ads before. You know,
also like the whole you can transform back and forth from a human into the dragon. And when
What's
you're in
that?
the human form with your Drakthir, they glide. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
That's pretty sweet. I
Okay,
really
right.
enjoy that. I don't know. I enjoyed the Drakthir, but I also haven't really played them. But yeah, it's like. So the idea behind them is
I
they're
had more fun creating it.
yeah, they were fun to fuck. There was a lot of
I
options.
had
They
more
were pretty
fun
cool.
creating my dragon than them going
Well,
in
what
and
spec did you
doing
go?
the thing.
Damage, right?
I think I messed around. I made 2 evokers. I messed around with both.
Um,
And it's just
you can
still
just
the
switch
same
specs. Well, no, they're complete. Like the one. So the idea behind the evoker
style.
is, Deathwing, right?
But it probably does have different mechanics within the skill abilities that you get. But
Can I tell you the history of them?
I just think it's different. It won't make. It won't.
Well, do
it
you know
won't
who
be like,
Deathwing
oh, wow,
is?
I want to play him now. No, nothing.
Okay,
None of
Deathwing
that.
was the main villain of the Cataclysm expansion. He was that big, huge dragon that fucked up the planet, caused the barons to split, flooded Thousand Needles, all that shit.
Okay.
You remember that? So, Deathwing was the aspect of the Black Dragonflight. Well, his name was Neltharion, and he got corrupted by the Void, by the old gods, in the center of the planet, essentially. Like, essentially, the old gods are based off Lovecraftian shit. You know what I'm saying? You know Lovecraftian, right? Like,
Nope.
Cthulhu, shit like that.
Oh,
Like-
you mean like mythical? I know, like of the mythical. I
Yeah.
never heard of that one, the first one, but the second one.
Well, H.P. Lovecraft is the one who invented those, like Cthulhu and shit. And so, like the tentacle monsters of the deep, people consider those Lovecraftian, like, mind flayers in D&D and shit like that. Very similar to what's going on here with the old gods. Well, the old gods corrupted Neltharion, and he turned into Deathwing and instead of defending the planet, he was the Earth Warder. He was supposed to defend the Earth. He just realized it was a fruitless job. Not fruitless, but pointless, because it was doomed to fail because of the void corruption and the old god corruption within the planet. So he decided it was better just to end it and decided to try to destroy the planet and went mad. That was Deathwing. That was his story. Well, before he did that, he was the Black Dragon aspect, and he knew that the void corruption was there, so he started trying to develop shit to fight it. One of the things he developed to fight it over 10,000 years ago was this race called the Drakthir. And he created this race by combining magic of all 5 dragonflights. The black dragonflight, the bronze dragonflight, the blue, the red, and the green. If you don't know about the dragonflights, they essentially, each one has an aspect that they're in, like guardians of. Like the black dragonflight are the earth warders. They guard the earth itself. The red dragonflight is the life binders. They guard the life of like the planets. You know what I'm saying? The green dragonflight guard the emerald dream, which is like where the druids sleep. It's a whole nother realm. It's in connection to Azeroth. It's also like the nature of it, you know. The blue dragonflight guards magic, the arcane. They can see the arcane ways through the planets and all that shit. They protect that shit. And the bronze dragonflight protects the time ways. So using magic of all 5 dragonflights, he created these evokers. And that's why if you're a healing evoker, you use bronze and green magic to do restorative magic with the green magic, and you use bronze magic to use time magic and rewind damage and reset cooldowns and shit like that. That's what the healing invokers do. They're using 2 different aspects magic to heal. If you're the devastation evoker, you're using the red aspects magic, which has a lot of fire and shit like that, and you're also using the blue aspects magic, which has a lot of arcane, and you're using those to deal damage. But you can still use a little bit of basic green magic to like heal yourself, or bronze magic to like, for instance, Tip the Scales is a bronze magic spell right here I got up. It says compress time to make your next empowered spell cast instantly as its maximum power level. So instead of having to hold the cast and over time, you can click that and do an insta-cast if you're trying to burn. You know what I mean? But you're essentially using all 5 dragon aspects magic to do shit. And when the War of the Ancients broke out and the dragons left the Dragon Isles, that was 10,000 years ago, Neltharion sealed the Evokers up inside their fucking crutches, like where you started from, and used Titan magic to essentially put them into a sleep, a hibernation, a slumber. And they just were reawoken when the Dragon Isles reawoke, because all the 5 aspects were... So, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but the War of the Ancients was the Legion attacking 10,000 years ago. The Night Elves had a huge society. They were fucking with arcane magic, and they built the Well of Eternity. And the Queen of the Night Elves was kind of power-hungry and evil, Queen Ashara, and she essentially invited the Legion to Azeroth through the Well of Eternity to gain power. And doing so, the world fucking shattered and created all the continents you know today. Before, it was just one mass. When that happened, it was fucking chaos and craziness, and a lot of the Night Elves in that capital fell into the sea. And when they were all, like, when the queen was literally about to die, she encountered N'Zoth, which was an old god who lives at the bottom of the ocean. And he granted her power in exchange for servitude, essentially. And so what he did is, instead of them all dying, he created the Naga by doing that. He turned them into the very first Naga, and she was the queen of the Naga. And that's how the Naga came to be. They were essentially night elves from 10,000 years ago. And since then, they've bred and increased their numbers and spread across all the oceans of Azeroth. But that was the Sundering, and the dragons came to help. I'm not going to tell you all that shit. That's a whole other story with, like, the dragon soul and shit. But the dragons came to help with the War of Ancients 10,000 years ago because they were technically the protectors of Azeroth. And because there was a lot of power and magic and things that they didn't want the Legion to find, all 5 aspects worked together to cast a spell on the Dragon Isles, in which they could not return to the Dragon Isles until the Legion was defeated, and no one would be able to find them. They obscured themselves with magic, essentially. So as they left, they knew they would not be able to return until the Legion was defeated. And the Legion was not defeated until the Legion expansion, just a few years ago. And so after, like, you know, all that took effect and stuff, the Dragon Isles slowly began to awaken, and after a while, they awakened enough that they sent out a signal, and all the dragons all over Azeroth and anywhere in the cosmos who were from them instantly knew their location and had a calling to them. And that's what started this expansion, is the Dragon Isles reawoken and all the dragons are returning home. Although, many dragons stayed behind initially. Not all of them left, but the main aspects did. The leaders of the Dragon Isles left. So the Dragon Isles are in disrepair. They're kind of, you know, overrun by things. You know, it's been 10,000 years since the dragon aspects have been here. And that is essentially the setup of this expansion, story-wise. Because I'm assuming you missed every cutscene or thing that would explain that to you. And essentially...
Most definitely.
When you're playing as a Drakthir, one of the dragon, you're playing as one of these dragons who is essentially betrayed by Neltharion, and you still want to feel loyal to him, but you're like also discovering the horrible things he did after he sealed you away, and he betrayed all of Dragonkind and did a bunch of shit, and there currently isn't a black dragon aspect. There's two different people vying for it. One of them is Wrathion, who I don't know if you remember him, but he was a major character in Mist of Pandaria that was kind of fueling the Horde versus Alliance war, trying to get one side to take over, because he was preparing for a Legion invasion. He knew the Legion was coming, and he wanted all of Azeroth on one team when it did. So he was trying to essentially goad the Horde into losing a war to the Alliance and just surrendering and having the Alliance control everything, because he thought that there would be a better chance of surviving the Legion invasion when that happened. And he's still trying to become the Black Dragon aspect. It's Neltharion's son. But Neltharion had more than one son, and there's 3 different ones there right now that all 3 essentially have a claim to the title, and they have to work it out. And that's one of the other storylines you're having in this game that's going on. And
lost that Dragon Isle.
Also, I mean, the dragons themselves, I mean, that's one of the other main storylines of this, is that, you know, we get into the Titans and the Cosmos and shit like that, but the dragons were empowered by Titan magic, which the Titans are like the enemies of the old gods, and the old gods are the enemies of the Titans, you know what I mean? Like, the two are the opposites, like cosmic factions.
I mean, I can get why you continue to buy WoW. You continue to buy WoW so you can further the story.
Oh, I love the story is great. Yeah.
Yeah, so I can understand why you stay with WoW, dude. I can completely.
Well, I mean, I've been reading the books, and I've been invested in this story since I was 10 years old. You know, so it's the story and the world that I enjoy.
Yeah.
But it's less about and like, I mean, and also like that's why I don't try not to get too mad about things that come and go. Like, oh, this fucking feature isn't my favorite, but you know what? They'll probably fix it because I guarantee I'm not the only one. And that's the other thing I really like, is that yeah, you do have to pay a subscription fee, but I mean, this is one of the most constantly updated games. Like they'll even like update an entire dude. I mean,
no,
dude, for
League
real.
League of Legends probably beats, dude. First off, League of Legends is absolutely free, okay? And
I guarantee you, it has probably even has a larger player base, but it's also a lot more like League of Legends. I consider to be and this is not meant to be offensive, and I know a lot of people consider WoW to be the same thing, but a lowest, kind of like a Fortnite, like lowest common denominator. It's free to play, but there's a million things trying to get you to spend money, and it's just constant.
It's cosmetics.
It's cosmetics, and
and it works. And it works. But the thing is, you get to try a game out for free.
But there's like that's what I'm saying. Like,
I need to let the dog out. Real quick.
I didn't even really like Smite, and that's what I'm saying. Like MOBAs like that aren't really like.
Yeah, dude, I love MOBAs.
Like
the first Dota, the first Dota was a Warcraft 3 mod.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's what I'm saying. I played Dota. I totally played Dota back in the day.
Yeah, dude. Dota was the shit.
But like that was, and then
You never like strategy
I don't even really
games.
like.
You never like Command and Conquer, StarCraft.
I loved RTSs.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
Why don't you love
but
fucking?
I don't anymore.
On one champion and control one champion.
Exactly. That's exactly. I know, I get it,
But-
and that's exactly
but
like
specifically do something with that one shit. All right, with StarCraft and Warcraft.
let me
yeah, you can-
let me
you
tell
can
you
get a
something.
group of them.
I didn't rebuy Warcraft 3 either. I've
Yeah,
played a
yeah,
lot of
so-
those games in the past, and it's like, for instance, a couple weeks ago, maybe it was actually like a month ago, I streamed some Age of Empires 2 because they added that onto Game
I gotta let
Pass.
the dog out before.
Yeah, and I gotta go. I keep getting distracted
all
back
right.
in. I gotta go see what's
All
going on
right,
with my
dude.
girlfriend.
right,
You have
dude,
a
take it
fucking
easy,
great
dude.
one, and I'll hit you up later, dude.
All right, peace.
Peace. Alright, guys, we are going to call the stream here for today. I might be back on later. We'll see what happens. I am going to be back on later. And we will see you then. You guys have a freaking fantastic day, and we'll catch you next time. Stay crunchy, my dudes. Peace out.